If there's ever a situation where there's a must-win, I would have to say this is it.
I need to win this fight because I need to get back to the championship realm.
To me, in my eyes, it's my last opportunity.
It's a win to stay alive, you know, to keep your head above water. So this fight means a lot for both of us.
This first fight back's crucial. If you lose 2 in a row, it can be detrimental to a career. So this is a make me or break me kind of fight right here.
I'm focused on what Jason McDonald has to do, and Jason McDonald has to go out there and beat Rich Franklin.
One at a time, one fight at a time until I get back to the belt.
He's standing in the way of where I want to be, and I want to be on the top of that middleweight division.
Hometown fight in Ohio here, and I plan on putting on a good show in front of my home crowd.
I want to win. The title's just a sidelight to going out and performing well and winning.
Randy's coming out of retirement because he thinks he could beat me. I don't think he can.
I'm going out and getting after Tim Sylvia.
Randy's going to bring it. He's not going to sit back. He's not going to wait for me to move stakes. He's going to be coming after me, and I'm going out there to try and knock him out.
Get to his body, run him into the fence, and knock him on the ground. Once he's on the ground, I'm going to finish him.
For UFC 68, the Uprising. The Worm showed great heart, great courage, and a great chin in his UFC debut. Tonight, Jamie Varner welcomes 11-0 Jason Gilliam to the UFC. The Gizzard set to display his Gizichu. Our tale of the tape for this first fight here tonight at Nationwide is brought to you by Synergy, the ultra premium energy drink powered by science. Varner is just 22 years old, 12 years younger than Jason Gilliam, and you can see the reach advantage that belongs to the Gizzard.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Mark Matheny.
So Mark Matheny, our referee, a battle at 155 pounds between the Worm and the Gizzard.
You ready?
One man is 11-0, the other is 9-1, and here we go. Varner in the red trunks.
Inside leg kick by Varner. The tie-up.
Nicely
down. And Gilliam's guard. Gilliam's got his knees wrapped up. Now, that could be either that he has problems with his knees, or it could be he likes the traction. A lot of guys who have a very active guard prefer to wrap their knees up because it allows them to hold on to shoulders better.
With those long limbs of Jason Gilliam, Varner knew in that situation a moment ago he's got to be very cautious and very careful of the up kick.
Yeah, very. And he's also got to be very careful trying to punch from the guard.
Trying to take his back early. Got one hook in.
He's got an over-under. It's hard to tell here. He's got one underhook, one hook. He doesn't have that left hook. Oh, he flipped him over. Very nice.
Can he finish quickly?
Jamie Gilliam's a tough guy. He's prying that hand loose. He's going to turn into him. He's turning towards the choking arm, which is the way to do it. But Varner's got his back now. He's dropping some punches.
Good start for Jamie Varner.
It's a tough spot for Gilliam. Start off his UFC debut. Varner's got the choke in again.
Looking for it again.
It looks like Gilliam's got his chin tucked. Tough to tell. Oh, looks like he's ready to tap. That's deep.
Does he have it?
He's going under.
Varner looking to finish with the rear naked choke.
Gilliam is tough. He's hanging in there. He's hanging. He's out.
And it's all over. Jamie Varner wins by submission. And he does the work.
Jamie Varner with the very colorful celebration dance. You think he's happy?
He is a little excited as he has just earned, Joe, his first win in the UFC.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Matheny has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute 34 seconds of the very first round. With a winner by TKO due to a rear naked choke, Jamie the Worm Varner.
Ohio native Jason Dynamite Dent looks to electrify the hometown crowd by taking down Clayson Tebow, American top teamer, owner of 23 mixed martial arts wins. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by Synergy, the ultra premium energy drink powered by Zions. The American Dent from Ohio is 26. The Brazilian Tebow, now fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, and American top team is 23. Everything else is virtually identical.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee.
All right, gentlemen, we've gone over the instructions. So obey my instructions all the time. Come out ready to fight.
Tebow against Dent here at the sold-out Nationwide Arena in Columbus.
You ready to fight?
The Brazilian against the Ohioan. And we are underway.
Jason Dent throwing out those jabs. Oh, Tebow. Got a little left hand there.
Jason Dent really low as he comes in.
Yeah, he's looking to avoid the takedown.
Tebow, as you know, American top team as we talked about, but they really work striking there.
Tebow's got the clinch. And
good takedown.
Jason Dent could be in a little bit of trouble here. He's inside control. He showed some good defense against Roger Huerta. But Gleason is a little bit more of a submission guy than Huerta.
No question that is what he is best at, is his jiu-jitsu and submission skills. And he's in good position right here with side control.
It looks like he's trying to tie up Jason Dent's left arm. As he spins into side control here, you look at he's trying to isolate Jason Dent's left arm. See how he's doing that? He's turning, he's punching him, and as he's punching him, he's trying to pin that arm down. He's going to try to push it away from Jason Dent's body. See, he's landing these elbows and punches, but all he's trying to do while he's doing this, besides land a little damage, good job by Jason Dent, bringing it back to half guard. He's more protected here, but he's trying to work an arm triangle on the left side here. He's got Jason Dent's left arm trapped there, and he's slowly trying to weasel out of this. He's got it. He's out of the, trying to weasel out of the half guard. He's got one leg trapped still, but he's got the arm triangle locked in. If he can get his left leg out here, Jason Dent is stuck.
You heard Herb Dean telling Jason Dent not to hit the back of Tebow's head. He can hit the side, but not the back. So now Dent's trying to loosen up this submission by going for the gut.
See how Dent is holding his hand by his ear? That's called holding like you're answering the phone. That's the best defense in that position. If you can keep that there, you're going to create a little bit of space. By having that hand on his ear, he's going to keep from getting choked unconscious. But if Gleason Tebow can get that leg out, if he can get that leg out of half guard and apply more pressure, it might not be enough. What he's going to do then, if he can do that, is push Jason Dent's left arm up so that he can separate it and get less space in there and squeeze it tighter. But see how he's trying to use his instep there? What he's trying to do there is trying to pry those legs loose so he can pop that leg out. Everybody's booing because they don't really know what the hell's going on here.
Well, and the realism of it is, Joe, Joe, as you said, he's a left leg out of the guard from maybe finishing this by submission.
Yeah, he's in deep trouble here. This is very deep trouble. Gleason right now does not have a full grip. What he's got his hands kind of clasped together, and he's just using his weight to hold it down. Eventually, he's going to slip to his hand on the bicep, and then he's going to put his other hand by his ear. When you see it move to that, or he can do it from this position. He's got it pretty deep.
Joe, even holding the phone, as you called it, can Jason Dent be submitted from this?
Yes. See how he moved it to the side, though? Now he's in trouble. Now he's in deep trouble. Now Gleason just has to get... He can be choked out from here. Even without getting out of the half guard, he can be choked out from here if Gleason's got a good submission. Oh, but
I got that. He got the phone receiver back to his ear.
There you go. That's defense 101 from this position.
So a good job done by Jason Dent in a very dangerous position.
Yes. This is one of my favorite submissions. Now, you see how he moves the arm off to the side? Now Jason Dent's in big trouble again. But he doesn't have his head to the side.
And that's why Herb Dean knows that this fight is not stalling on the ground. This is very close to coming to conclusion.
People are saying stand him up. They're crazy. They just don't understand what's happening. Now Gleason's hearing this, so he's going to work harder to get his legs out of there. Oh, Jason Dent, good job. He popped out of the submission.
Great job done by Dent.
But Gleason's still on top. Jason's doing a real good job of keeping half guard here. And against such a talented jiu-jitsu guy as Tebow, that's hard.
Still, the key has been the half guard, and now they're going to stand up.
See, I hate stand-ups, man. I don't think there should be any stand-ups. If a guy can hold you down and punch you in the face or try to submit you, I think it's only a 5-minute round. I think 5 minutes is not that long. Let him work. Jason Dent with a little leg kick here.
Nonetheless, they get to stand up and answered with a counter as down goes Dent again. But Dent survives the submission attempt of Tebow here in round one. Tebow still, he jumps in and he avoids the full guard right away. He's in half again, though.
Yeah, but to Jason Dent's credit, Jason Dent has a very good half guard. He's real good at recovering it and real good at holding that position. I mean, he was in deep, deep trouble there and still managed to keep the half guard, and that is what basically saved him. If he was in full mount or if he was in side control, I think Gleason would have had a much better shot at, Gleason rather, would have a much better shot at finishing that.
That and the fact he had the hand in there answering the phone, right?
There you go, buddy.
All right, buddy.
You're learning.
Absolutely. Got a good teacher, brother. Final seconds of round number one. And a good job of survival by Jason Dent.
Gleason Tebow. Excellent technique displayed by this gentleman. Check a look at this. He's got the grip. Boom! Bang! What a takedown. Beautiful use of the body there. Let's take a look at that again. Sweep. Boom! Just perfect technique there. And an awesome takedown.
All right? Straddle that leg. All right? Keep this foot outside of his lead foot. All right? I don't care if you have to step on it. But that's what we need. All right? We want 2-3-2 all this round. All right? More than one. All right? Guarantee he's gassed. All right?
Passar trabalho, meu irmão. Acredita na nossa posição, bicho. Eles são doidinhos, brother. Pô, eles são doidinhos, Tibau. Valeu, passou a adrenalina já suou, já passou. Viu? Agora é chegar e matar, finalizar, meu irmão. Viu? Acredita em ti, bicho.
Anybody know Portuguese?
Not much.
Isso é um doidinho.
We need to get Hermes Franco over here or something to help us out.
Enfia a mão mesmo, enfia a
I
mão.
can barely understand when Hermes Franco talks to me in English.
That's an excellent point.
Love that dude.
Great point brought up in Dent's corner, though. Do you think Tebow did expend a lot of energy, Joe, in looking for that submission in round number one?
He certainly did, but he's in phenomenal condition and he doesn't look gassed to me. I think that's a lot of pep talk trying to pump him up.
Second round, Dent in the brown trunks, Tebow in the camouflage and black trunks.
Good leg kick by Dent.
Tebow with a good counter with the combination.
Oh, nice knee by Gleason.
He looks very comfortable with his striking here thus far. Coming forward here is Dent.
Tebow's got a grip of him again.
And
boom,
down they go.
Instantly takes him down.
And instantly gets side control.
Let's see if he can hold it here because as we saw in the first round, Jason Dent really good at grabbing that half guard.
And really, as you talked about, Joe, that's what saved him from being submitted. Just that spin of the hips to get into half guard, and T-Bow's almost leaning away from him now to make sure he doesn't get that leg caught in half guard.
Yeah, he is. He's staying more on the top side. He's doing the same thing again. He's trying to isolate that arm. He likes that arm triangle. And it looks like he's trying to go for it again here. And now that he's not in half guard.
But he is controlling Jason Dent.
He's controlling him, and you hear Herb Dean say, let's work, let's work. He's trying to switch to the mount. Boom, and instantly Jason Dent does a good job of grabbing half guard from that position. This is better for him.
But Dent needs at one point to start putting some offensive points onto his side of the scorecard.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen here. He's got to get up to his feet. There's no way he's going to be able to sweep this guy. I mean, I shouldn't say no way. I mean, anything is possible. Jason Dent's a talented fighter, but this is definitely advantage Gleison Tebow.
Another point to bring up, remember that Tebow, when he fought Diaz, was at 170. He's fighting a smaller guy here tonight, and it seems strength-wise, he's very easily controlling Jason Dent.
Yeah, well, Jason Dent, his main forte is not grappling. I mean, he has a good defensive grappling base, and he's a good grappler, but he's dealing with a guy who's a very, very good grappler.
And a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
And Jason Dent would have an advantage if he can get this fight to his feet and initiate a striking exchange.
Yeah, the first thing that Jason Dent wanted to do was utilize his Muay Thai skills. He likes to scrap, he likes to strike. The one thing you can say about Dent, though, he's tough to finish, and we've seen that thus far.
He's a very, very game guy. We saw that with Roger Huerta. We also saw in the Roger Huerta fight that the kid's got excellent conditioning.
Here they go again. They're standing him up.
And you're going to see Jason Dent really push the pressure on him now.
Well, he needs to here. Needs to score some points here in round 2.
Looks like he got clipped there.
Inside leg kick.
Knee to the body by Dent. Gleison smiled at him, but that's usually a sign that something hurt.
Now, that might be the first one that caught him. Straight body kick. Yeah, body kick right straight at him. And then, boom.
Left it open.
Every time he's closed the gap, Tebow has taken advantage with 3 very impressive takedowns so far in the fight. Under 2 minutes remains in round number 2. This fight's scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Again, Jason Dent locks up that half guard, and it's an open half guard too. He doesn't have a lockdown in place. It's basically wide open. If Gleison Tebow just put some effort into it, I do believe he could pass this.
Tebow's really looked more for ground and pound here in round number 2. He hasn't really gone for the submission finish as he did in round number 1.
I mean, like, look at Jason Dent's legs. They're wide open. Tebow could get his leg out of there. I mean, there's nothing really holding it in place. If he could just extend his leg and pop it right through right there.
Now Dent closes the guard, Joe. As if he heard your message.
I doubt it. It looks like Tebow's trying to work some sort of a guillotine on top there. There's nothing there, though. He's just throwing some punches. Now Jason Dent's got some full guard.
Tebow controlling round number 2, though.
I mean, this is a wide open guard. I'm kind of shocked that Gleison isn't trying to pass here. In my opinion, you can ground and pound from this position from the guard if you're a Fedor, if you're a Tito Ortiz, if you're one of those guys, or Shogun, if you're one of those guys that's really good at that position. But Gleison, this is not him. He's a jiu-jitsu fighter. He should be putting all his emphasis into getting out of this position and getting a dominant position, which is what he's doing right now. So he's got that hand on the leg. He's going to try to pop his legs out of there.
Final 15 seconds of round number 2.
I mean, this is kind of a puzzling situation because this is not a tight half guard. He should be able to just pop his leg right out of there right now.
That being said, 2 rounds to none for Gleison Tebow.
Definitely.
And his takedowns have basically been reminiscent of a Matt Hughes takedown.
I think
maybe
Jason
without
Dent,
the aerial flight.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think Jason Dent is, left himself open.
Keep him moving, all right? Keep those shoulders moving at all times.
He has to sell them or knock them out. That's the only way you win this fight.
It's got to be a submission, got to be a knockout, all right? You got to bring it to him. You've taken down, giving him too many points.
You have to
close your eyes
down, Jason, right now to win this fight. Now the time to make it a fight. You dig down and win this fight right now, Jason.
Here's the takedowns from the first round. Here's that beautiful throw. I mean, just excellent use of the hips. And here's the second round. He caught Jason Dent trying to punch, slammed him onto his back. But to Jason Dent's credit, he never let him get into a dominant position from there. Or if he did get a dominant position, he quickly reclaimed half guard.
And that's the same thing we saw from Dent in a defensive mode when he fought Roger Huerta.
Yeah, he's a tough cookie, Jason Dent. But he's got to do something offensively.
I remember saying that after 2 rounds against Roger Huerta. T-Bow, so far so good. Dent's going to look for the big finish here. He's going to look to utilize his Muay Thai skills.
Yeah, he's got to throw bombs away here.
Inside leg kick. The high kick T-Bow's seen every time so far. T-Bow does a good job posturing, not showing too much of his body to his opponent, Jason Dent.
Well, I think T-Bow is just so confident that if he can get a grip on him, that he can take him down.
T-Bow's actually...
There it is.
Yep, there's another takedown, but he's almost landed as many strikes as what was supposed to be the more effective striker, Jason Dent.
Yeah, it's so hard to strike when you know a guy's got superior takedowns. It's very difficult to just let those hands and kicks go in a comfortable manner.
There has not been one missed takedown attempt tonight by Gleison T-Bow. He's 4 for 4. Mostly utilizing the double leg.
But again, he's in the same position, in the guard, throwing, semi-effective strikes, but there's nothing that's going to finish a tough guy like Jason Dent. I mean,
it's nothing that's going to earn him anything but a unanimous decision victory as well.
Yes, but it's nothing that's going to strike fear in the eyes of a guy like Sean Shirk.
Yeah, you got that right. Or Hermes Franca or Kenny Florian.
Yeah.
Some of the top fighters at 155 pounds.
He's trying to pass here.
His best opportunity to finish was in round 1 when he tried to choke him out.
Yeah, he was pretty close there. If he had popped that leg out of half guard and managed to extend Jason Dent's arm in that position, he could have finished it. It was pretty close.
And he really hasn't looked for another submission since that point, has he?
No, he's never gotten past half guard or full guard.
Is part of that the fatigue that was caused by him trying to put that submission on for so long in round 1?
It could be that, and also could be the fatigue of just 3 rounds of fighting against a tough opponent like Jason Dent. Jason Dent is in great shape and he keeps you moving. And, he's frustrating. I mean, look, he's got a very active guard, feet on the hips. No matter what Gleison does, Jason Dent recovers half guard, recovers full guard, constantly punching. Herb Dean stands him up.
All right, 2.5 minutes remains in the fight. The time is now for Jason Dent.
Gleison's very tired here. You can see, oh no.
Yeah, that's a slip.
He needs to get to his feet pronto.
No question. I'd be really surprised if Gleison lets him do that easily.
Oh.
Looking for the finish. Oh, big
there
shots.
He goes.
He connected with that left on the way down.
He did, and good punches and good elbows as well.
These are the best strikes on the ground we have seen from T-Bow in the entire match.
Well, I think he realizes there's only 1:45 left in the fight, and he's really trying to turn it on here.
You can hear him right here in our broadcast position. These punches are connecting. But again, he's trying to work from the guard. There's one leg out. Half guard.
He took advantage of Jason Dent throwing a couple elbows from the bottom. But still, he can't get out of that half guard, which is really perplexing.
Now looking to push on the leg to work his left leg out.
He's got to get it past the knee. Once he gets it past the knee, then he can turn towards him, and then it's easier. See, now he's turning towards him. Now it's easier. Now he can slip that sucker out. Now he should be full mount. If he can pop that leg out, he's full mount.
He's an ankle away from it, Joe.
Yep. But, there he goes. Almost there.
Still
Bang,
pounding
full
away.
mount.
Boom,
Now he's
full
done.
mount.
Okay. Now he's in a position to apply submission. It's not too late. He's got 45 seconds to go. He can still try to finish something here. but he's got to do it now.
You know, credit T-Bow for not cruising here in round 3, because he is looking for a finish.
He's trying to be. I mean, all these guys realize they have to be excited.
He got a leg stuck again, though.
That's quarter guard right there.
Yeah.
But that's easy to pass if he can pop it out.
T-Bow, 25 seconds away from his first win in the UFC, and really trying to not have the unanimous decision on his record, instead of stoppage. But Dent is probably going to last these final 12 seconds. But again, credit T-Bow for going for the finish here in the third.
Yeah, he definitely isn't trying to coast. He's trying to finish this fight.
Full mount again. Dent truly a warrior.
He's still got that leg trapped in there.
And it is going to be T-Bow undoubtedly walking away with his first win in the octagon.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 30-27. For the winner by unanimous decision, Gleison T-Bow.
So as expected, T-Bow reigns supreme. He was in control for basically the entire 15 minutes. The Purdue Boilermaker, John Fitch, knows Columbus well, but tonight he's not battling a Buckeye wrestler, rather Luigi Fioravanti, the former Marine, with lethal hands. Our tale of the tape for this welterweight matchup is brought to you by Synergy, the ultra premium energy drink powered by science. Fitch is 28, 3 years older than Fioravanti. Now on paper, Fioravanti is the better striker, but he is giving away 5 inches of reach. That will be difficult to overcome.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Mark Matheny.
Mark Matheny, our referee. Ariana signifies the start of the fight in round number 1. There's the beautiful Ali Sonoma, of course, in attendance here tonight. And we are underway. Fioravanti against Fitch. Fioravanti 11-1 in his career. Fitch is 17-2 with 1 no contest. These are experienced and very dangerous welterweights.
Good leg kick by Fitch. Whoa, Fioravanti just missed him with a big leg hook.
Now, if this fight starts to develop and Fitch starts to get the better of the stand-up, then Fioravanti's in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. You would look to Fioravanti to have the better stand-up. You would look to John Fitch to have the better wrestling. But you know what? Anything can happen in the wonderful world of mixed martial arts.
Amen.
Big knee right there by John Fitch.
And you can really tell right now, I mean, you can tell how much taller and leaner John Fitch is at 6 foot as opposed to Luigi Fioravanti at 5'8".
And as a top wrestler, you know this guy's cutting some serious weight. They all do,
sure.
And they're all used to it. They've got it down to a science.
Looking
I like how he did that.
takedown.
You just see that just sick wrestling strength. And unless you've rolled with an elite wrestler, it's really hard to understand. I mean, they look the same as a normal person, but you grapple with them, and it's just the insane core strength of an elite grappler. Carl Parisian is one of the best examples of a guy that I've personally trained with. That you grab a hold of him, it's like grabbing a hold of a chimp. You know, chimps are only 160 pounds, but they'll throw you around like a rag doll. And that's what it's like rolling with a guy like Carl or a guy like John Fitch. It's just, there he goes, boom.
Did you just call Carl a chimp?
Yeah, but a chimp
you're
I love.
his friend, so that's cool.
He's my buddy.
Well, you start looking at 170.
There he goes. Fitch has got the takedown. Good takedown defense by Fioravanti. Fioravanti held him off for a little while.
Fitch is undoubtedly in the deepest division in the UFC. St. Pierre, Hughes, Diego Sanchez, Koscheck, BJ Penn, if he comes back to 170 after he fights Palmer. Carl Parisian you talked about. Josh Berkman.
It's as deep as you get, which is and also indicative of how talented I think this guy is when I say that this guy's the future of the division.
He is on an 11-fight winning streak, and he is looking for a quick finish here.
Spun to the back instantly. That's just smooth right there. He's prying him off, and what he's going to do is probably either going to roll forward, try to get that second hook in, or he might just try to pound him out from here.
Fitch recently earned his brown belt in jiu-jitsu from Dave Camarillo, so he's happy to finish this fight by submission. But Luigi Fioravanti also very good on the ground, of course, working with American Top Team.
And when you get a top wrestler like that, like I said, and the guy gets a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, I mean, it's such a monster advantage. The physical strength this guy possesses and the incredible takedown ability. I mean, it's he's a handful.
And tonight it's Fitch who kind of has the home court advantage. Fioravanti was so fired up fighting in front of the fellow Marines at Miramar.
Fioravanti's doing a good job of keeping him in guard, though. Right when I said that, John Fitch passes. Side control. Fioravanti's bucking, and boom, back to half guard. Good job by Fioravanti. But this guy will wear you, man.
And now in a full guard.
Yeah, Fioravanti's doing a good job. He's working.
The phrase used always by our matchmaker Joe Silva when talking about John Fitch is the dude's an animal. I mean, and that's really how he fights. He's just a relentless warrior who continues to come and with that wrestling spirit.
Yeah, and you know what? So is Luigi Fioravanti, but Luigi's more stand-up wise, and he pushes it to the feet. Good job by Luigi.
Luigi
Very
bloodied up a little bit on his left eye, Joe, just a teeny bit.
Now watch for Luigi to let his hands go. I mean, this kid is fearless.
Man, he looks totally different at this weight.
Yeah, he looks great at this weight. Oh, good right hand.
Combination.
Fitch smiled, which again usually means that he got hit. Luigi's got some heavy hands, man.
That's the one thing. That's the big difference in this fight. I mean, Luigi has that one-hit knockout power at this weight.
Yes. I mean, he's got it at 185 pounds.
Great point.
The kid can slug. And he's a tough guy who's not afraid, so he'll throw those hands, as opposed to a lot of guys that get in there with a top wrestler. It's hard for them to throw because they're always worried about the takedown. Very nice. I like how he spun him away and threw a right hand. Like I said, Luigi's in this fight, man.
30 seconds remains in the first round. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Ooh, good left hand by Luigi.
As soon as Luigi starts to get the better of the stand-up game, look for Fitch to bring it right back down to the canvas.
Good knee to the body by both men. First by Fitch, then a response by Luigi. I'm just very impressed with Luigi so far. Being able to get up off his back, being able to force Fitch against the cage.
10 seconds, Luigi.
Luigi's going to finish this round number 1 very well.
And Luigi's one of those guys that's got the ability to perform at his best under pressure. Under the pressure, facing a guy that nobody wants to fight.
So a good first round here between two of the true contenders at 170, and as I say that, a very deep 170, but a win moves you right up the ladder.
Yeah, man, but this is a deep division right here. How deep? Take a look at this. Here's John Fitch with some nice knees to the body. Look how he just gets his whole body in that, lifts his body weight up, and boom, drives those down to the liver. And here's a nice right hand by Luigi Fioravanti. Good action.
He's so greased, I can't control. Yeah. That's why I'm not creating.
Chin down. Keep that chin down. Speed.
Where his posture is the control.
Yes, you are. Listen, you gotta stop clinching. Right? Stop clinching. He's low on you. Start moving. When you turn him around, he goes for the under.
The beautiful Rochelle Leah in the house, the host of All Access on Spike TV.
Yeah, you can see her in his Stuff magazine with a tiger. Whoa, dude.
She got the cover. Congratulations.
Standing next to a real live tiger. Not me, baby.
You did a feature on that on Inside the UFC.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's fight.
That's about as close to a tiger as I want to get.
I concur, my friend. Second round.
Oh, good leg kick there by Fitch.
Fitch is really trying to use the knees.
Fioravanti with some good takedown defense. Fitch went for the sweep. Fioravanti pushes him up against the cage. Got a single. Fioravanti pulls away. Nice.
Might have caught one in between the legs there. He kind of winced, but he's going to continue on. Luigi Fioravanti.
Good leg kick by Luigi.
Went into the Marine Corps, trained with Gerald Streetbent for about 6 months, and he said, you know what, I kind of like this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu thing, and now he's training with some of the best of the best. Served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. Still working on his criminal justice degree. 25 years old, Fioravanti in the camouflage trunks. Fitch, as we said, former Purdue wrestling team captain.
That was a good example of Fitch cutting off the distance. Luigi made a mistake there in his footwork. Fitch cut off the distance and pinned him up against the cage. Now he's got him up in the air. Oh, that would have been a big big slam.
For
but
sure.
Luigi did a no-no. He held on to the cage.
So he'll be warned. You see the referee warning him not to do that again.
But, you know...
Now he saved himself.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
He could have got KO'd by that slam. Fitch doing a good job of holding onto that leg, but Luigi's pushing up, getting back to his feet again. I mean, I'm very impressed with his takedown defense and with his ability to stand up. He's got a guillotine in there, but if Fitch can hold on to that leg, it's going to be academic.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before
Luigi's
Fitch
spinning
generally
around
gets
to
his guy
take the back.
down.
Now he's going to roll into the donkey guard here. He's got a hold of a leg. If he can extend John Fitch's leg, no, it's too slippery. He's out. Fitch has got his back now.
Well, knowing what an animal Fitch is and how he's kind of steamrolled through his opponents, the amazing thing is how much Fioravanti continues to improve.
Yeah, Fioravanti is a very, very tough competitor, and he looks very composed in there. Fitch has got one arm across the neck, though. This is not good for him.
From Larson to Berkman to Thiago Alves to Hiranaka, 4-0 in the UFC is the former Boilermaker John Fitch.
Yeah, Fioravanti has got to turn into him here. He's got to turn into the choke.
Can he finish it here?
Triangle. Now Fitch has got those long legs. There might be enough space there for Luigi to turn towards him. But what he's got to do right now is got to shift his weight towards the ankle that's locking the triangle in. If he can turn towards that way and flip John Fitch over, he'll put pressure on his ankle and he'll get Fitch to let go of that triangle. Now it's bad. Fioravanti just spit out his mouthpiece.
Looking to finish it with the choke.
Oh, he's
and it is all over. It is all over. John Fitch wins by rear naked choke here in the second round.
Very impressive performance by John Fitch. He fought a very game Luigi Fioravanti and imposed his game on him, ultimately tapping him out in the end.
John Fitch is a man to be feared. He has now won 12 straight fights, including 5 consecutive victories without defeat in his UFC career. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Matheny has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes 5 seconds of round number 2 due to a tap out from a rear naked choke, declaring the winner, John Fitch.
Cincinnati's Matt Hamill became an instant star as a member of Team Ortiz on The Ultimate Fighter 3. Tonight he looks to lock down a legend, Rex Holman, a national champion at Ohio State. Our tale of the tape for this light heavyweight matchup is brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink powered by science. Hamill from Cincinnati is 30. Holman from Columbus is 37. Holman has a bit of a reach advantage.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Big John McCarthy.
Ah, there we go.
Hamill.
You ready? Let's get it
against Holman in a battle of Buckeyes. Holman comes out southpaw.
Good leg kick by Holman.
One thing we saw with Hamill, he was well behind his wrestling skills and developing his hands and his boxing skills. And now we'll find out if that is developed at all. No, we don't see it early. Takedown.
Holman back up to his feet. Good job by Holman getting up there. Oh, Superman punch.
Uh-oh.
Jinx.
Way too many shots together.
Nice leg kick by Holman. Holman shoots.
Hamill came with an uppercut.
Hamill is so strong.
For sure. Look at that cut under the eye, though. I think he caught him with the uppercut when he failed on the takedown.
That is the area we had a huge gash in one of his previous fights.
Ducks under the right hand. Holman looking to swing in. Hamill trying to find the range. Let's see if Hamill has improved with his hands.
Good check. It definitely looks like his striking's improved. You can tell. I mean, he's such a coachable guy. All all elite athletes have that factor in common. They all have the ability to absorb techniques and information very quickly. And you can see that with Matt Hamill. And already these few mixed martial arts fights that he has, I mean, when we first saw him, his hands were down, he was throwing arm punches, and now he's checking leg kicks and throwing punches with precision and with technique.
Holman has thrown a couple uppercuts. He might have a little love for the uppercut here, Joe. Let's keep an eye on that.
And good inside leg kick by Holman. Matt Hamill tries a turning side kick.
Over the top, Holman tried to come. Both men are going to see what the other has as far as a fight on its feet right now. Yeah, look at that. He loves the uppercut. That's the third time he's tried it.
Yeah, it looks like he's been studying tapes of Hamill. Hamill on top.
Hamill is a relentless wrestler, but so is Holman. Holman has been in this position many times. Although, as Randy Couture's told us, wrestlers do not like to be on their back.
No, they certainly don't. And getting up, wow. Holman showing some excellent wrestling here. A guy like Matt Hamill, tough to have on top of you, and Holman's gotten up twice from that position.
Wow, he really loves the uppercut.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's got that as a part of his game plan.
But now that he's shown it so often, Hamill should be prepared for it.
Holman's wheezing. He's taking in some deep breaths, and there's 2.5 minutes to go in this round.
37 years old, but a competitor his entire life.
And Hamill doesn't look tired at all. Body shot by Hamill. Holman's moving away here.
Hamill continues to push forward.
Inside leg kick. Very sloppy technique, though. He's throwing a leg kick with basically just the leg. He's not turning his body into it, and he's dropping his hands when he's doing that, which is a lot of time indicative of a fatigued fighter. Right hand by Hamill.
Yeah, Holman seems frustrated already.
Left hand by Hamill.
It's almost like Holman's punches are almost at 70%. They don't seem sharp. They don't seem crisp. Yeah. And Hamill feels that.
Yeah, he's wearing out. I mean, Hamill's such a strong guy, having him on top of you like that and having to fight him off. Oh, Hamill on top, dropping bombs.
Hamill trying to finish Holman.
Holman could be in trouble here. He's got a grip.
And lots of time remains in the round.
He's got one knee separating them so he can get at least a half guard here. You hear his coach yell out half guard. He's got double underhooks. He might try to sneak out the back door here. If he can use that. Oh, Hamill on top now. He's got a back mount.
Holman is in trouble.
Big John is not going to let this go on.
And it is all over. Matt Hamill receives a standing ovation here at the sold-out Nationwide Arena.
That is a tough guy to shake off. When Matt Hamill gets on top of you, you got some big problems.
Absolutely have to love that young man from Loveland High School in Cincinnati.
Boy, does this town have a lot of love for Matt Hamill.
Wow. Holman ran out of gas.
Yeah, let's take a look at the end of the fight here. Matt Hamill's got that back mount, just dropping bombs down. Heavy-handed Matt Hamill, and Holman's doing nothing to stop it. Matt Hamill just puts the nails in the coffin, and that's a wrap.
Matt Hamill, 5-0 in his mixed martial arts career. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Big John McCarthy has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, Matt the Hammer Hamill.
Babalu Sobral had his 10-fight win streak snapped by the Iceman. Tonight, he looks to start anew by punishing Jason Lambert, the former sheriff. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink powered by science. 31-year-old Brazilian Renato Babalu Sobral takes on the Punisher, 29-year-old American Jason Lambert. Sobral is 3 inches taller. His reach advantage is just 1.5 inches.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Big John McCarthy.
The beautiful Ali Sonoma. Ariana in attendance here at Nationwide. We are set. Here in Columbus, Babalu and Lambert. Babalu with a red stripe on his trunks. Babalu has good inside leg kicks and a good flurry early.
Got a hold of a leg.
And the takedown. Good hand speed by Babalu there.
Lambert's looking for a Kimura. See how he's looking to trap Babalu's left arm. He let it go.
Lambert is a short, stocky guy at 5'10", 205. Very strong.
He's a very strong guy. Like I said, especially in the top position. When he gets on top, he's dangerous.
Babalu is masterful on the ground. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling background. A great Brazilian wrestler.
Yeah, he originally started out as a wrestler.
He was national champion in Brazil, Joe, on 3 different occasions.
Good job by Jason Lambert claiming guard here.
And then later captured Muay Thai championships in his home nation. Lambert does a good job utilizing the closed guard. On Hanato, Babalu Sobro.
Babalu's trying to push him up against the fence here.
You know, we really learned a lot about Babalu when the All Access show went to Brazil with Rochelle Lee, and he's got a really unorthodox training style. He runs with his teammates on the beach in Rio de Janeiro. He is a young man who is driven, he's in great shape, and he has very, very well diversified skills.
I'm sure he's trying to erase the memory in the public eyes of his public's eye rather of his loss to Chuck Liddell.
Everybody's trying to do that tonight. That's what makes tonight so unique. And a good start early for Babalu. Trying to gain a little bit of side control. He's in half guard now.
He's almost in mount. If he could push his hips forward, if the fence wasn't there, he'd be in mount.
Well, the fence is going to take away the hips of Jason Lambert. That's exactly why Babalu scooted him there.
Lambert's turned to his back. Babalu's on top of him.
Babalu imposing his will early.
He's got one hook and he's going to try to pull Jason back.
And again, that's why you push your opponent to the fence, Joe, so you take away his ability to spin. So Randy Couture, Tito Ortiz technique.
Yeah, Babalu is completely controlling him here. And Jason's doing a good job of defending himself. One hook. Babalu's got his back.
Babalu looking early for the finish.
He's got 2 hooks, except he's pressed up against the cage. Now he's got to figure out a way to push back.
Little cut over the left eye of Jason Lambert. Okay, Babalu looking to stretch him out. Lambert's got an arm in there, though.
Babalu's going to turn this into a mount. Rolls him over again.
Looks to take his back.
Good defense by Jason Lambert. It's very difficult to finish a seasoned guy with these MMA gloves on because they can grab a hold of those gloves and they use that to protect themselves.
Babalu had one leg in. Now he's looking again to. Now he's looking to move away from the fence, Joe, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean he's looking to take away that leverage advantage. I mean Jason can push off that and use it to move him around. He's pushing against it right now. It's tough to see what he's got here. It looks like he's got a naked choke. It's under.
John McCarthy right on top of the action.
It looks like he's got it.
Looking to submit Lambert early. Babalu looking to finish the fight.
Lambert's in trouble.
And Babalu
gets
gives it
out of it. Jason Lambert showing some heart.
Well, there's the strength of Jason Lambert as well.
Babalu still has one hook in here. He's lost the bottom hook, but he's controlling Jason Lambert's wrist. Jason Lambert's up.
Lambert does a great job getting the fight back to its feet. Babalu expended a lot of energy there. Lambert looking for uppercuts.
Uppercut underneath by Lambert.
Dirty boxing trying to uppercut Babalu. And again, even close quarter, heavy-handed is Jason Lambert. Babalu is cut. That might have been one of those uppercuts. Babalu expended a lot of energy going for the submission.
Jason Lambert. Babalu could be in trouble.
Babalu goes down for a moment. Lambert trying to jump into position to finish. 5 seconds left in the round. 4 seconds left in the round. Lambert looking for a stoppage, but we will head to round number 2.
Wow. What an interesting turnaround for Jason Lambert that was. He was almost choked. Babalu completely controlled him for most of that fight, but in the end, he had Babalu hurt. Let's look at that again. Here's the right hand that started off. Boom! Right on the jaw. You see, Babalu's in deep trouble here. Again with an uppercut. Babalu falls to his back. Let's take a look at it again here. Oh, he sees it coming, but it is on the chin. His legs give out. He grabs a hold of Jason Lambert. Jason Lambert hits him with an uppercut. It couldn't have come at a better time for Babalu. He's got some time to recover. He made it to the end of that round, but he was most definitely hurt.
Back to the head.
Jason Lambert has earned the momentum in this fight at the end of round number 1. Set for round number 2. Fight is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Here we go, here we go. Turn around, Jason. You ready? You ready? Let's get it on. Come
What
on.
a great job done by Lambert.
Jason Lambert looks very encouraged here.
Looking for that uppercut again. That's the one that caught Babalu in round 1. Babalu throwing knees, utilizing the clinch. And Lambert jams him into the fence.
Lambert on top, and like I said, Lambert has very good top control.
Babalu trying to close the distance so Lambert can't posture up.
Up kick by Babalu.
Kind of glanced off the shoulder.
Jason Lambert moves it to half guard. Good job of controlling Babalu, pushing him up against the cage. Babalu looks like he's up.
Yeah, Babalu lost a lot of his gas tank, I think, in round 1, looking for that submission, the multiple submissions.
It's also the punches. When you get hurt like that, that takes a lot of your endurance away.
Because now it looks like Lambert is the fresher fighter. But Babalu's still trying to take a page out of Anderson Silva's book against Rich Franklin and utilize the knees.
When Lambert landed there, he immediately passed to half guard.
Round 1 basically controlled right to the very end by Babalu. Second round so far, early on, all Jason Lambert.
Jason Lambert, like I said before, has a really good top game. He's very difficult to shake off once he gets on top.
There we go. This is what we wanted. This is grind. We wanted to grind. Elbows. Give me those short elbows right there. Jay, give me some elbows to the head. He's not getting up. He's not getting up, Jay.
Watch the back of the head. It's the last time.
Jay, give me some elbows to the head. Give me left elbows. There we go.
Babalu doing a pretty good job on the bottom of avoiding damage. He's holding Jason Lambert in his half guard, now full guard. He's turning away from the punches, keeping his hands up, trying to control him. Jason's landed some shots, though. And Babalu's breathing deeply. It looks like his right eye is starting to swell up and close. You see a mouse over his right eye, or on the corner of his right eye.
And you saw the technique also, Joe, utilized a moment ago by Jason Lambert of just putting your hand over your opponent's mouth. Just to, not to suffocate him, obviously, but just to disrupt his breathing pattern. Just for that split second, which zaps a little bit more cardio.
Yeah, it is an effective tactic.
Lambert trying to posture up again.
So far, Babalu doing a pretty good job of avoiding any real damage, though. As you notice, he's real aware of when Jason moves and shifts his hips.
Babalu has been in this position many, many times in his long and very successful mixed martial arts career.
And Babalu is still dangerous off his back. He's got a very good, very active guard. And if Jason makes a mistake and leaves an arm out there, you're going to see Babalu try for submission.
The submission immediately. Lambert utilizing the fists any way he can. The cut is now over the nose of Babalu. Babalu is truly being punished by the Punisher here in round 2. Caught him with an elbow, throwing down the hammer punch. Lambert doing a good job of keeping very busy inside the closed now open guard, back and forth guard. Babalu. Good elbows.
Jason Lambert would be much better off if he could figure out a way to get out of Babalu's guard. I mean, I like the way he's He's frustrating Babalu and landing a lot of punches and keeping him in trouble, but he's got to get out of this spot. If he gets out of this position, he gets to a more dominant position, he can do some real damage. Because right here, Babalu can still protect himself. He can shift his hips, and Big John McCarthy recognizes it and stands him up. Even though Jason was constantly punching, it wasn't really from a dominant... Oh, big left
Goes Babalu, and it is all over. It is all over. Jason Lambert knocks out Babalu.
Unbelievable. Wow. That is a big win for Jason Lambert.
I told you.
Let's look at that again. Babalu comes in, boom, runs into that left hook. And boom, finishes him off with the right hand, and it was academic. Here's a left hook on the jaw. Babalu drops. Big John McCarthy, best referee in the business, was right there for it. He saw Babalu drop. He saw that second punch land, immediately stepped in to stop any further damage.
Babalu, in the process, was looking to throw a knee. And when he threw the knee, he dropped both hands. You've got to keep the one hand up. And when he threw the knee, both hands went down, and Lambert took advantage, and Lambert shows great class and ultimate respect for his opponent as he makes sure that Renato Babalu Sobral is just fine. What a knockout to get us started here tonight at Nationwide Arena. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Big John McCarthy has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 36 seconds of the second round. For the winner by knockout, Jason the Punisher Lambert.
Everyone on the card the rest of the night, at least most of the guys have been in a main event before, including the longtime welterweight champion Matt Hughes, set to return to the octagon to take on Chris Lytle. Our tale of the tape for this welterweight matchup brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink powered by Science. 33-year-old Hughes against 32-year-old Chris Lytle. Hughes wants a win. He doesn't want to lose two in a row. Lytle wants to regain his opportunity to be a world champion here in the UFC. What a night tonight in Columbus.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Mark Matheny.
Mark Matheny will be our referee.
Guys, come here. Okay, listen up. We discussed the rules for the fight this evening in your locker room. A nice clean fight. Do either of you have any questions before we begin? Touch gloves. Back your corner.
Indiana against Illinois. Here in Columbus, Ohio. Chris Lights Out Lytle. Matt Hughes.
You ready? You ready? Let's fight!
Swinging for the fences early is Chris Lytle.
Chris Lytle's got everything to gain and nothing to lose in this fight. Pretty much everyone's counting him out. He's got a hold of Matt's neck.
Matt's neck is like a concrete block, I was once told by Frank Trigg.
And Matt's got very good passing here. Chris is trying to hold on to it, but Matt has already passed his chin underneath the arm.
Chris Lytle was so disappointed in his performance against Matt Serra in the finale of The Ultimate Fighter 4. He realizes this is his final chance.
It's hard to tell how deep this is here. He's got one arm in, which is very difficult to finish a guy with a guillotine with one arm in, but it is possible, especially if he can get to full guard. It's more difficult from half guard, but it is possible. Still got one arm under it.
2 of the 5 losses that Matt has incurred in his career have come by submission.
What Chris Lytle wants to do here, if possible, is retain full guard, and the best place would be if he could get that guillotine with no arm trapped in there. Matt is so strong, he can use that arm to try to create some space.
Look how relaxed Lytle is, Joe.
Well, he's a smooth technician. Lytle's got very good jiu-jitsu, and this is one of his best techniques. The guillotine, he let it go. He let it go.
Well, he was wise to do that because sooner or later, if you don't have it, you don't want to gas yourself out in a futile submission attempt.
but now he's on the bottom against one of the most dominant top guys ever.
And one of the men who can truly ground and pound from inside his opponent's guard.
Matt is going to try to pass these legs here.
Lytle going to play around with the choke attempt a little bit again.
Matt's not going to fall for it this time, though.
Well, Matt says he's in much better shape for this fight. This is not, this is not where Lytle wants to be. Even though he's the man who's been trying to submit early. Matt Hughes, future UFC Hall of Famer, wants a rematch with George Rush St. Pierre.
Chris moves to butterfly guard.
Hughes looking to spin right pass.
Nice attempt at a pass, but good recovery by Chris Lytle. And again, goes for that guillotine. Again, this time with, yep, he still got the arm in. Matt's out of it. Chris is staying calm and composed.
Lytle said he has never been this mentally prepared for a fight. Lytle has the tools, he has tons of experience. But he needs this win desperately tonight to get his shot back within the ladder, which is 170 pounds.
And this right here is grappling chess. Matt's trying to pass, Chris is trying to catch him. And Chris is trying to keep Matt from passing. And they're constantly moving here. And Matt's
he's got side control.
Okay.
This is bad for Chris Lytle with 138 remaining in round one. But Hughes not looking to take advantage right away. Again, very methodical, as you mentioned. This is chess right now.
Well, he's passing the knee across the belly here. Chris stops it. You know what? Matt loves this position as well. This is the Carlos Newton position. We used to call this the salivary, where you control one arm with your legs and the other arm with your arms in this side control position, and you pound them out with punches and elbows. He did this to BJ Penn. He did it to Carlos Newton.
He loves to bring the elbow down to the side of the head.
Yeah, the first time we ever saw this was Ivan Salivary versus Semenov, and this is it right here.
Yeah, keep an eye on the right arm of Matt Hughes.
And keep an eye on the left arm of Chris Lytle. Once that gets past in between the two legs of Matt Hughes, that's when he's going to try to drop some punches down.
Side control for Hughes, absolutely.
He's holding that wrist.
There's the elbow. That's what Hughes likes to do from this position, Joe.
Chris has still got that arm in there protecting him, though. Once he gets that arm in between the two legs, that's when he's in deep, deep trouble. I mean, we saw it with BJ Penn. BJ Penn was completely helpless in this position. And Matt is so strong. When that guy gets you there, it's so hard to keep him off. He's going to try to grab that arm.
Chris is doing a good job utilizing the right arm coming across his head, though, isn't he?
That's nothing because he's just got the head. He doesn't have an arm trapped in there. It's enough so that he can kind of confuse, or not confuse him, but frustrate him and possibly create some space and get out of there. But he's not going to submit Matt here with this.
Well, we're going to head towards, it appears, the second round. 5 seconds.
Turn this into an arm bar.
5 seconds left in the round.
This could be it. This could be it.
Round two.
Slips out of it.
That was close.
Great job by the referee and keeping that fight on the ground.
Adam Dunn, Ken Griffey Jr. up from the Queen City.
You're a real sports fan. You knew who the guys were before you even saw the graphic.
Hey, that's my boy, Junior.
Come on, you guys, come up where it goes. Okay, and you push when he's got that arm and you can't get it between your legs. Grab his other wrist while you got this arm trapped. Grab his other wrist. Then he's got nothing to block the punches with. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what you were talking about, Joe.
Yeah, and I'm sure Matt Hughes knows that. He's like, duh, Pat.
Pat, I was trying.
All right. So he takes it down. So what? So what?
Doesn't matter. You can't do nothing. I'm counting in my head.
So what?
You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was that close.
Have fun, Chris Lytle's corner is telling him.
Seconds, let's go.
Let your hands go, they're saying. They're saying, so if he takes you down, so what? That's how confident Chris Lytle's corner is in Chris's ground game.
It was close. Rashad Evans, 15-0 in the UFC and in his mixed martial arts career, 15-0 overall. Chris Lytle has never been submitted. Hughes came close at the end of round number 1. Unbeaten.
I bet Chris has got some serious confidence going into this round, though, because of that. And again, Matt, if he wants to, like he said, he can take him down.
6 years he was a fireman. In Indianapolis, Chris Lytle.
This program is a presentation of the Ultimate Fighting Championship in Zuffa LLC. Any use in whole or in part without the express written consent of Zuffa LLC is expressly prohibited.
Chris Lytle again trying to work that guillotine in half guard. It's very loose though. He's just got an arm in there. It doesn't look like he's got his... It's tough to tell in this position, but it doesn't look like he's got his fist clenched together. It looks like he's using that other hand to try to push Matt's legs away. And Matt's trying to sneak that leg out the side. If Matt can get his left leg, and there he goes. He got his left leg out. He's in side control now.
But Lytle's hanging with Matt Hughes on the ground about midway through this fight.
Sort of. I mean, he's
surviving. Maybe surviving is a better way to put it, Joe.
Yeah, not quite hanging, but surviving. And you know what? This fight is on the ground because it's Matt Hughes' choice.
Absolutely. Because, again, Lytle would love to just trade hands with Hughes, but Hughes says, no way, I'm not playing that game tonight.
Hughes has such a solid submission game. I mean, it's really, I don't know if it's underrated, but it's very underappreciated. He's got like real world-class black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills on the ground.
Well, he nearly submitted Royce Gracie.
And you know what? The only reason why he didn't is because he let it go. He didn't want to break his arm. I mean, he had it. It was locked up. He heard it pop 3 or 4 times, and he decided, I don't want to break his arm. Let me just punch him.
We've seen that many times from
Chris
Hughes.
Is cut. Big elbows from Matt
These
Hughes.
are the elbows we talked about that Hughes likes to throw from this position that we talked about in round 1. Lytle has to defend himself.
Yeah, Lytle's in a tough spot here. It's going to be real hard for him to shake this off.
At one point, will Matt look to explode into an armbar again?
You know what? I don't think he has to. I mean, in this spot, he might be able to just pound out the win. It's going to be so hard for Chris to get him off. I mean,
long-time welterweight champion Hughes likes how things are going here so far.
Yeah, I mean, Chris is using his knees. He's trying to push up, but he's just trapped here, man. And those elbows just raining down. See, Mark, the referee, is taking a good look at it right here.
Mark Matheny, assigned by the Ohio Athletic Commission, in the octagon here tonight.
Keep an eye on Chris's. Oh, he's got
full mount.
Keep an eye on Chris's right arm, too, because it looked like Matt was targeting that as well.
This could be the beginning of the end for Chris Lytle. Hughes has full mount.
He's got full mount, and Chris Lytle's cut. I can't tell the severity of the cut, but there's a lot of blood.
Lytle knows anytime Hughes gives him a half an inch to move, Lytle's got to try to get out of this position. But Hughes is so strong, and Lytle is cut next to his right eye, and it's really starting to gush.
It's on the side of the eye, which is not that bad. It's not the eyelid.
Yep, and it'll bleed to the side, Joe. It won't bleed into the eye.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it's going to swell up either. It's like shut his eye, rather. But you know what? When Matt's in that spot, Chris has done a good job there retaining half guard, and Chris has flipped him over.
Great job, Lytle.
Lytle's on top. He's on top, and it looks like he's trying to work a guillotine. He's lost that, but Matt Hughes has an excellent guard as well.
Lytle looking to posture up.
Before this, working with Pat Miletich, working from this very position.
Lytle is pushed up against the fence. He's trying to posture up.
Lytle's trying to pass, and Matt's trying for a Kimura on the left side. He's got Chris's left arm
into the half guard.
He's past the half guard, but Matt can finish this from this spot. If he can extend Chris's arm and get it back behind his back, Chris is right now defending.
Not many men have gotten out of a Hughes full mount.
He tried to do exactly to Matt what Matt did to Georges St. Pierre. When Georges St. Pierre overcommitted to the Kimura, that's when Matt caught him on the armbar. That's exactly what Chris tried to do right there.
But in doing so, he lost his dominant position.
Yes, he did, and with 20 seconds to go.
Great job done by Lytle, though, because truly few men have survived the full mount of Matt Hughes.
Well, Lytle is showing he deserves to be here, that's for sure.
We got 10 seconds, guys.
Well, when Chris Lytle told us he's never been this mentally prepared for a fight, he certainly was telling the truth. And we are headed to the third and final round.
That's a big cut over Chris's eye. It looks like it got even bigger. Leon Tabbs is on it. One of the best cut men in the business.
Okay, you just come out bombing. You just hold you down. You just come out bombing, all right? Just come out bombing, all right? That's it. That's it. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay, let's see this. Sit up.
Hard-working young man Chris Lytle.
Commission's raising hell.
Here's some of the action from that round. You see Chris Lytle's got the guillotine and uses the fence, pushes off with his legs, reverses the position, and gets on top of Hughes. Let's take another look at that. You see Chris Lytle, he's got a hold of Matt's neck, uses his legs, pushes off the cage, and flips Matt over. Very rare that you see a guy with a good a base as Matt Hughes get reversed like that.
Let's go. Get after him.
You good, Pat?
You good?
Pat Miletich coaching him, saying pressure. A lot of pressure. Go get after him.
Hughes.
Let's go!
And Lytle. Third and final round. Lytle needs this win desperately. It would be the greatest win of his mixed martial arts career, and it would put him right back in the championship picture.
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, to beat a guy like Matt Hughes in this situation, brought in as an underdog, this would be huge. It's a tall order.
Everything points towards a title shot of the winner of this fight against the winner of St. Pierre and Sarah in Houston next month. Side control again quickly for Matt Hughes. Problem is right here is Lytle is going to start to see the clock as his enemy.
Lots of pressure. 5 deep. Get your left arm deep under the hand.
Come on, guys. Keep working it here for us.
Keep your head down low. Keep your head down low.
19,000 plus in attendance tonight here in Columbus. Mixed martial arts record-setting event here in North America.
Matt Hughes controlling Chris Lytle in this position. It looks like he's trying to isolate that arm again. You see how he's using his head to control Chris's right arm? He might be trying to isolate that. He's got it trapped right now between his head and his arm.
Mark Matheny telling everybody they've got to continue to stay busy. Hughes knows that because he wants the fight to stay in this position.
Chris is holding on from the bottom.
Holding on for dear life.
But with 3 minutes to go, he's got to do something drastic.
And that's the thing, he can't, that's what I talked about earlier, Joe. He can't do this too long because the clock is quickly becoming his enemy because you could naturally score rounds 1 and rounds 2 to Matt Hughes. Lytle's hoping for a stand-up here.
Let's go. Let's go. We need action here.
Looks like he's got an Americana. He's trying for an Americana on Chris's arm. It's difficult to pull off with the elbow up there like that. If he can suck it into Chris's body, he's let it go. But he's still isolating that arm. You might see Matt try to swing his leg over and go for an arm bar. It's just, he's so strong in this position. It's so hard to shake him off. I mean, Chris is throwing knees from the bottom, but that's not going to stop him. He's got to figure out some way to buck Matt, to create some space, get a knee in there, do something to try to get himself either to half guard or possibly flip himself over. He's managing to hang on and not get submitted, but not much else. Now, as Matt lifts his body up like this gives Chris at least a slight opportunity to create some space and slip a knee under. Matt's pushing the knee across the belly. He looks like he's going to move towards Mount.
Come on, let's go.
1:15 remains in the fight. Lytle has to do something to change the course of this third
knee on the belly.
Round.
He switched to knee on the belly here.
So tough to move Matt Hughes around. As powerful a pound-for-pound fighter as we have ever seen in the sport of mixed martial arts.
Not just powerful, but excellent base. He's got phenomenal base and positioning.
30 seconds remains. If it goes the distance, we will get the thoughts of Eddie Bravo before we get the official decision. Eddie scoring our fight tonight. Rich Franklin, Jason McDonald, Randy Couture, and Tim Sylvia still ahead here at UFC 68, the Uprising. And it certainly appears the Uprising will be successful for longtime welterweight champion Matt Hughes, who lost his title and finishes over almost with the submission. Matt Hughes, Chris Lytle, go the distance. Lytle gave it everything that he humanly had. He has nothing to be ashamed of.
There's the armbar attempt. Chris snuck out of it. Matt tried to turn it into, it looked like a triangle. And he knew that that was the end of the round. And that's probably why he went for that submission in the first place.
Eddie Bravo, your thoughts on the fight?
Complete domination by Matt Hughes. All Lytle had was that guillotine attempt in the first round. He had a sweep in the second round. He did have that armbar attempt in the second round also. And he had a beautiful armbar escape in that last round. But I gave every round to Matt Hughes, 30-27.
You had to be impressed, Eddie, with Lytle's wherewithal to survive, though.
I was also impressed, or more impressed, with Matt Hughes' passing. His passing was elite black belt level. You know, he's passing better than the Brazilians now. That's what I was impressed with.
Matt Hughes continues to progress in his mixed martial arts career. Eddie, thank you very much. We'll hear from Eddie if any of our other fights go the distance. Lytle and Hughes come to the center of the octagon for what I believe everyone knows will be a victory for the longtime former welterweight champion. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Matt Hughes.
This night of former champions continues. Coming up next, our middleweight showcase as Rich Franklin looks for his own uprising, taking on the athlete, Jason McDonald. Our tale of the tape for this middleweight matchup brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink powered by science. 32-year-old American Franklin against the 31-year-old Canadian McDonald. McDonald has a 2-inch reach advantage.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Herb Dean.
All right, gentlemen, we've gone over the instructions. Let's have a nice, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions at all times. Touch gloves, come out ready to do this.
Will the nightmare be over, or will it continue? For the former middleweight champion, Rich Franklin, as he takes on the athlete, Jason McDonald, who has never been knocked out and has won 6 straight fights. Franklin and McDonald.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Let's do it.
Herb Dean, our referee, and here we go.
You know, it shows what a classy guy Rich Franklin is. When everyone was booing for Jason McDonald, Rich Franklin shook his head, waved his hand no, and started clapping for him. Well, that's the kind of guy he is.
There's no question. He's going to look for the early knockout. McDonald would love for this fight to go down to the canvas.
McDonald's got a leg. Rich doing a good job of pushing his head off and avoiding the takedown. McDonald's relentless here. He's got a hold of Rich's other leg, trying to grab that ankle.
Joe, everyone seems to feel McDonald's best chance of winning this fight is if it goes down to the ground.
Absolutely. And on his feet, he's at a disadvantage. On the ground, he has a slight advantage.
Great job done by Franklin. Oh, he tried to throw the big left. Big into McDonald. McDonald in trouble early. Every punch punch that lands is going to go into the mind of Franklin and rebuild that lost confidence.
Absolutely.
So important tonight, more than any fight in his mixed martial arts career, for Franklin to get off to a good start.
Yeah, and like I said, McDonald is a good striker, but he's not a great striker. He doesn't have like vicious knockout power. He's got good power, good solid fundamentals, but his real strength is his submission game.
Rich said he has made a lot of changes in his training, in his personal life, in his professional life, and he tells us he's in a much better place mentally. A different work ethic, and he was truly banged up from the fight with Loazo when he went in to meet Anderson Silva.
Yeah, that's a very good point. He was recovering from surgery, had surgery on his hand, and he elected to not have surgery on his ankle because of the fact that he didn't want to have no hand and no leg. He couldn't get around. So he still, I believe, has a problem with his ankle. He says he can't play basketball, but he says he can fight in MMA, which is kind of crazy.
Well, he's making a lot more money in MMA than he is in basketball, so that's a good trade-off.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how much it's inhibiting his movement.
It'll be interesting to see as this fight goes deeper.
I mean, he took that fight with Anderson Silva pretty quickly after surgery, pretty quickly after. I mean, he incurred a lot of damage in that Loazo fight.
He's in the clinch game right now with Jason McDonald, the clinch game in which was dominated by Silva. Ironically, Rich told me that night after the loss that he actually wanted to close the gap against Silva and utilize the clinch game.
A completely different clinch game, though. The way Silva grabbed him with the plum, the Muay Thai plum on the back of the head, he didn't have an answer to that. I mean, this is a different kind of clinch game. This is a clinch game of underhooks and overhooks where he can use his physical strength and control it.
And so far, he's done just that.
Yeah. I mean, Rich is a huge guy for 185 pounds. Jason's very big as well, but Rich is even bigger than him.
Jason McDonald. Rich Franklin.
Throws a good right hand by Franklin. He throws a very awkward right hand and it lands again.
Bottom with the left. Again, I think every strike that lands makes Franklin feel like he's back at home.
Oh, good leg kick by Jason.
Under 90 seconds remains in round one. A non-title fight, so this fight is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. It's been a long time since Franklin was scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Yeah, Rich has got double underhooks here. Jason lets go of one. It's tough to see in this position if he's got it. Rich has got it, takes him to the ground.
Good first round for Franklin. Looking for the finish. Franklin looking to finish off Jason McDonald. Franklin teeing away.
He's got to do something to get some distance between him and Rich Franklin.
Back up to the feet they go. Bloodied up is the athlete.
He looks fine though, none the worse for wear. He doesn't look hurt.
He is a tough, tough cat.
Take inside leg, inside.
Now he's got a hold of Rich's leg.
Rich did a great job the first time, Joe.
Well, Rich has phenomenal takedown defense. Trying to turn the corner, he's down.
And he gets Franklin down.
30 seconds to go.
Now we're in McDonald's world. But Franklin has worked on his back. He's worked his guard tremendously significantly with George Grusel, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt.
And Rich flips him over.
Nice job done by Franklin. 10 seconds remains in round one. Franklin raining down some elbows and avoids the up kick. A determined Rich Franklin dominates round one.
That's a very good confidence-building round for Rich Franklin. It looks like he's suffering no ill effects of that knockout loss to Anderson Silva. Anderson clapping for him. Good. Win so we can fight again.
Rich, listen, every time he starts to attack champs.
Let's take a look at some of this action here. It's a left hand on the forehead that rocked him. Let's see that again. He misses with the right, lands a good left hand.
It's going to come. The punches are going to be right there. Every time you did that about a half a dozen really
you
good
hit him
times in there. You caught him dead in the water, bro.
Yes.
Head in the
Step
water.
up to your right and hit him,
That's
okay?
right. Hurry.
Oh, it's down. He is hurt.
That is like turn him into the middle. Turn him into the middle. You see that? You turn him in the middle, you put him down, right?
Greg Jackson, one of the best, shouting instructions to Jason McDonald.
Come on.
All the pressure would appear to be on Rich Franklin tonight. Hoping to get another look at Anderson Silva.
Booing a champion.
Well, we are in Ohio.
Yes, we are.
They like their own here. And they love the Cincinnati kid with a master's in education from the University of Cincinnati. The champ's a classy guy.
Yes, he is. Jason goes for that single again. He's got a hold of the leg. He's taking some shots, though.
Don't hit the back of the head.
Herb Dean warning Rich Franklin to not hit the back of the head. It's so hard in these attempts to figure out where the punch is going to land. I mean, I'm sure Rich isn't trying to do that on purpose. Just like the guy's got his leg, they're moving around, he's just throwing shots. Jason's
again, look how difficult it is to get him down, though, Joe.
Yeah, well, Franklin's got excellent balance. And again, he's so physically strong for 185 pounds. That's always been his game, to overpower opponents.
Well, this is a man that equally is as big and as strong as you talked about before. Maybe not quite as thick, but at least as big. And this is an advantage that usually Franklin has at 85 that he doesn't have as much tonight. He caught McDonald again. Jason McDonald is a gamer. I mean, anybody who's a corrections officer is a gamer. Tough kid, great ground skills. And really, as I said, not a ton of pressure because he's on a roll, and if he loses to a former champion, he can still regain that momentum.
Yeah, absolutely, and so far he's putting on a great showing. He's got a hold of Rich's body. He's going to try to flip him down behind. He's going to try to take him down if he can get his hands clasped together by dragging. There he goes. He's got him back.
Watch out for McDonald.
He's got one hook in, but Rich is almost out here. If Jason can swing his leg over, Rich is trying to control Jason's right leg. If Jason can get that leg out, he can try to cinch a triangle on that side. If Rich lets go of that right leg and Jason can use it, it's tough where he is by the fence. If he can swing it out there and lock it over, oh, and Rich has passed him.
Nicely done by Franklin. Rich rains down a right. Maybe looking for an arm of his own. Side control for Franklin.
Jason McDonald sliding that knee through. He's trying to reclaim guard.
And look at Rich's right arm.
Yeah.
Right hand stopped the right leg and prevented him from getting back into half guard.
Good job by Rich Franklin. He's on top of that.
That's right.
Franklin's got McDonald in a bad spot. He's going to take away his hips if he can keep him pushed against the fence.
He's also got knee on the belly here. You might see him rein up, try to drop down some punches.
Work around to a single.
Franklin controlling, now he wants to punish. 2 minutes left in the second.
Good knee to the body from the bottom. That one had some impact. Knee to the belly, mount.
Mount Rich Franklin.
It's a bad spot for Jason McDonald here.
The former champion on top of Jason McDonald. Looking to win here tonight in Columbus. Relentless is Franklin.
Good job by Jason McDonald.
And we still have the main event tonight, Ken Sylvia and Randy the Natural Couture.
It's Herb Dean warned Jason McDonald don't hit the back of the head. Jason McDonald on the bottom said, I'm hitting the side of the head.
And back to Mount.
Rich, don't grab the fence.
Jason McDonald's rolling over. He could be giving up his back here.
Franklin with the left and the right. McDonald is in trouble. Franklin can take his back. He has it.
He's got his back here.
45 remains in the second.
McDonald's going to try to stand up.
40 seconds, Jake. 40 seconds. Keep moving. 40 seconds. Come on, Jake. Keep working. Keep working.
seconds in the second. Can Franklin finish it here?
Jason's doing a good job so far, not taking too much damage. He's taking some shots, but he seems to be coherent.
Herb Dean right on top of the action.
He's lost one of the hooks. He shook one of the hooks off. He's going to see him turn into Franklin right there. He's going to be mounted again. There it is.
He's got 7 seconds to make it to round number 3.
He's got his hands up.
Can he defend himself? Is Franklin going to finish?
It's very close. Franklin
wanted the stoppage. Instead, we will move to round 3. Rich Franklin wanted the stoppage.
Jason McDonald's in bad shape here. He got up. He's very wobbly. He's using the fence to hold him up. I'm not sure if that's from fatigue or if he's really hurt. He took some big shots in that round. That's it. It's over. It's over.
Jason McDonald's tapped out. Over. Rich Franklin has won here tonight in Cincinnati.
Big win for Rich Franklin. Look at him smiling at the camera.
The nightmare is over.
Well, you know what? Part of it is now the road back to the title. Step 1 is done. Let's look at the end of the round. Rich Franklin mounted, just dropping big bombs on Jason McDonald. There's that left hand, there's a right. But Jason is badly hurt. And you see, when he got up, I think he was saying that's it. He was saying that's it right there. He got back to his corner. He really couldn't walk very well. He was using the fence to hold himself up, and his corner decided to throw in the towel. A wise decision. Big shots.
Rich Franklin wins tonight to go to 8-1 inside the octagon. And you saw the corner, Greg Jackson, the men from Albuquerque, and one happy Rich Franklin. What a sense of relief. And that may be the motion that, hey, my face is intact. Bruce Buffer. What a relief.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the second round, Jason McDonald is unable to continue. Therefore, referee Herb Dean has declared the winner by TKO, Rich Ace Franklin.
Continuing at 185. Danish Thai boxing champion Martin Kampmann hopes to destroy Drew McFedry, the Militich product, who moves from 205 to middleweight. Our tale of the tape for this middleweight matchup brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink powered by science. The 24-year-old native of Denmark takes on the 28-year-old American who has a slight reach advantage.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Herb Dean.
You ready to fight?
Kampmann.
You ready?
And McFedry's. And here we go. McFedry's has the camouflage on his trunks.
Big left hand by McFedry's and a right.
Hands up! Hands up! Thanks!
Oh, another one. McFedry's with a nice right.
Again, like I said here, McFedry just seems to be more explosive and quick. There we go, right, he's hurt. Kampmann's in trouble.
Good shot early by Drew McFedry's. Back to the feet they go. Kampmann's been hit before.
Again, he gets hit with that left hook. Excuse me, right hook.
You know, McFedry's really likes to come at it.
Oh, he eats a right hand.
Nobody wants to spar inside his camp with Drew McFedry's.
I can imagine. He's got some serious power.
We call him a bigger version of Robbie Lawler, former UFC fighter. Oh, and the right. He seems extremely comfortable so far here against Kampmann.
Good.
fell for that fake there. But Campman didn't capitalize.
Straight left.
Campman lands it right. McFedry's got his mouth open. I mean, I don't know if that's nerves or... Ooh, good right hand by McFedry's. McFedry's just walking Campman down. It's like he has no respect for his power. And Campman's face is already swelling up.
He caught him with that right hook that you talked about, Joe.
It's, yeah, his
He's got a
left
huge
eye.
mouse under his left eye. Oh, again, that time the left and the right.
This
combination uppercut.
This looks like a matter of time.
Campman being punished early by McFedry's. Trying to become another Midwestern.
Takes him down. Very nice.
Campman said, you know, that's what you find. That's when you find out a striker still has had enough of getting outstruck.
And you know what? Campman does have some ground skills. He submitted Crafton Wallace with a rear naked choke. But I'm sure McFedry's training at the Milicic camp has been in this position before.
McFedry's loves to stand up. Again, we think we're going to see a stand-up war throughout the night, but when one man takes huge advantage of it, the other man says enough already.
Mike Campman trying to move into, he was trying to move into the mount.
Take your elbow in.
He's work.
Pushing the armpit. Pushing the armpit.
Work.
Pushing the armpit.
Trying to gain an advantage here is Campman.
Well, he's got a good position here, but it looks like he's trying to mount. He's inside control. He's got a good spot here to rain down some elbows.
Just work. Come on, Herb. Just work.
But Drew McFedry's, training with guys like Robbie Lawler and Matt Hughes, nice knees by Martin Campman. I'm sure he's been in this position before.
Early on, it was all McFedry's teeing off on Campman, but Campman doing a good job with this side control.
Campman landed some good elbows there. He's trying to slide that knee across the mount, but he keeps doing the same. There he goes. Now he's got it.
Oh, he went right over the top.
Arm triangle. He's got an arm triangle.
Trying to finish off McFedry.
That's deep. That's deep. He's out.
It is all over. It is all over. Oh, Campman has defeated Drew McFedry's.
Very impressive. It looked like it was a matter of time before he got knocked out on his feet. Martin Campman showing his versatility, took the fight to the ground. I love how he did that. I love how he passed to that side and took that arm triangle. That was beautiful. Let's look at that again. See, he's working that arm triangle. He's positioning himself so he can slide over. Now watch how he does this. He locks it in place and then passes over to the other side. Drew McFedry's wasn't expecting it, locked it in deep, and kept turning like a clock, turning in that direction, cut off the blood. McFedry's is out.
Herb Dean checked the arm. The arm did not react. And the fight is clearly over.
Let's take another look at that. That was beautiful technique. Campman switches over to the side, locks it in place, and notice how he moves his body around like a clock, just completely constricting all the blood to the brain, shutting it off, putting Drew McFedry's to sleep.
Great submission victory for the hitman, who was also a subman, Martin Campman. That's where this sport continues to evolve. A former Danish Thai boxing champion submits Drew McFedry's. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 6 seconds of the very first round. For the winner by submission due to an arm triangle, Martin Hitman Campman.
And still we have our main event of the evening. The heavyweight title is on the line tonight as the longtime champion faces the legend with the biggest belt of them all. Here to be awarded to the winner, as we have set an attendance record for a mixed martial arts event in North America. Sylvia and Couture remains here tonight at Nationwide. We are so excited about seeing Randy the Natural Couture return to the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Yeah, like I said before, if it was any other guy looking at the numbers, 43 years old, lost twice by knockout to the light heavyweight champion, any other guy challenging for the title, you'd say this is crazy. But with Randy, he's got such a tremendous heart, such a champion spirit, such an amazing ability to shock the world that you can't count him out. You just can't.
That being said, why does everybody want to count out and look down upon Tim Sylvia?
I don't know, man. I'm a huge Tim Sylvia fan. I've always been a big Tim Sylvia fan. I don't know, it's a combination of the way the guy looks. He doesn't look like what everybody wants. He doesn't look like some sculpted Adonis with a six-pack, or the fact that he likes to take his championship belt to the grocery store. I don't know. He's a character, but I like him. Tim Sylvia is a good man. He's a great champion, and I think he is easily the most underrated fighter in all of mixed martial arts. He's got tremendous knockout power. He loves to win, and sometimes that love to win has caused him to be cautious in the past, to not push the fight, not try to finish a guy when he knows he's won. You know, whether he's going to make that mistake tonight, who knows? But if someone comes to him and pushes the fight, he makes a very exciting fighter. And I think that's what's going to be tonight. That's what's going to happen tonight. I think Randy's going to push the pace. I think Tim's going to respond, and I'm very interested to see what happens.
Joe, tonight either the Couture comeback will lead to another championship, or the Maniac will earn the biggest win of his mixed martial arts career.
The Natural! This is the last time you're going to see these gloves and these shorts in this octagon. I'm retiring tonight.
Randy's coming out of retirement because he thinks he can beat me. I don't think he can.
Well, frankly, at this point, I'm the underdog in every fight at 43 years old.
I'm 30. I'm in my prime. He's out of his prime.
He shouldn't be coming back. He shouldn't be doing this. He doesn't have it anymore.
I think he has lost a step.
He's going to tarnish his reputation. That's bullcrap. I'm not tarnishing anything.
I think when he retired, that was his time to retire.
But I'm going out and getting after Tim Sylvia.
Good night.
I've never fought a Hall of Famer. Randy Couture is a stud, and I like to think I'm pretty damn good myself. Randy's track record with heavyweights isn't very good, and his track record with strikers isn't very good either, and I'm the best of both. I have great takedown defenses.
Stuffed by Tim. Nice sprawl by Tim.
I'm not that bad on the ground either.
Could he submit the submission specialist? That would be something to see.
Randy's biggest strength, obviously, is wrestling. He has to get close enough for me to do it, and he ain't gonna get close enough in this fight.
It's going to be really cool to have 3 titles in each division, but that's not really what it's all about. I want to win. The title's just a sidelight to going out and performing well and winning.
The fight's going to be exciting, plain and simple.
I want to go out and get in Tim Sylvia's face and beat him and win this fight.
Randy's going to bring it. He's not going to sit back. He's not going to wait for me to move stakes. He's going to be coming after me, and I'm going out there to try and knock him out.
And UFC history is back. Randy, the Natural Couture.
so happy and so energized to be here. I mean, what can you say about this guy that hasn't been said? Former heavyweight champion, former light heavyweight champion, the only man to hold 2 different UFC titles in 2 different weight classes. World-class wrestler, much improved striker, excellent submissions, ageless man. At 43 years old, believes he's in the best shape of his life.
And as you once said, that man is my hero.
You know what? You couldn't ask for a better hero. I mean, he's one of the nicest, most humble men you'll ever meet, and he's a killer.
Hall of Famer Randy Couture returns to the octagon to try to regain the heavyweight championship. But to do so, he's got to chop down the giant from Ellsworth, Maine.
Can you handle the pain? Let the truth be known. Savages reign, better look and respect the baddest man in the game. I will ride, cover my enemies, ride or die. And I'm a rider, can't hide my violent tendencies, I won't try. Cause I'm a fighter, I came to bring you some pain. It's so agony and pain for hearing them scream. My soul and battery in need for seeing them bleed. Nothing but tragedy, I dream of you in the ring. Coming to battle me, wow!
Talking about a real giant, 6'8", a guy who has to cut weight to make 265. I mean, that is the UFC heavyweight division. You have to make 265. If it wasn't for that, he'd be fighting at a 290, maybe even 300. He's a giant guy. He's got fists the size of canned hams. Vicious one-punch knockout power. Knocked out Trey Tellingman with a head kick. Knocked out Rico Rodriguez, Gan McGee. All these big heavyweights. Andre Arlovsky knocked him out once, beat him twice. Completely changed the way Arlovsky fought the second fight. I mean, he is a dominant guy. For whatever reason, does not get the respect or the love that I believe he deserves. And he thinks that this is going to be his showcase fight. He believes that coming out here and destroying Randy Couture will cement his legacy.
This can be the defining moment of a career which has a lot of time remaining on it, as Tim the Maniac Sylvia hopes to defend his heavyweight title against a very good friend in Randy the Natural Couture. In fact, Tim lived with Randy in Oregon as Randy prepped for Rico Rodriguez years ago. But as we've seen before, on certain nights you put the friendship aside and you compete like warriors, and then you shake hands afterwards. Our tale of the tape for our main event of the evening is brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink powered by science. Sylvia, 30 years old. Couture, 43 years old. Sylvia, 86-inch reach, nearly a full foot more of a reach than the heavyweight champion up past, Randy the Natural Couture. For our official introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC championship bout is sanctioned by the Ohio Athletic Commission with Executive Director Bernie Provato and Chairman Gene Weiss. Our judges at Octagon Side are Doug Crosby, Doc Hamilton, and Cecil Peoples. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Big John McCarthy. This championship bout is sponsored by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink powered by Zions, and Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC. Toyo Tires, driven to be formed. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Two UFC warriors have now entered the octagon to fight for the most prestigious title in the world. And now, live from the sold-out nationwide arena here in Columbus, Ohio, it's time! 5 rounds for the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a world-class Greco-Roman wrestler who holds a professional record of 14 wins with 8 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 222 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, this man is the only fighter to win UFC championship titles 4 times in 2 different weight classes, and tonight he is coming out of retirement to go to war again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back the former 2-time UFC light heavyweight champion, the former 2-time UFC heavyweight champion, the legendary UFC Hall of Fame Octagon Warrior, Randy the Natural Couture. And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 25 wins with 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 263 pounds. Fighting out of Davenport, Iowa, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Tim the Maniac Sylvia!
All right, gentlemen, you're given your instructions in your dressing rooms. Do I have any questions from the challenger?
No, sir.
Do I have any questions from the champion?
No, sir.
All right, once you fight clean, fight hard, fight fair, touch gloves, go back to your corners, let's go.
The Hall of Famer against the heavyweight champion, Big John McCarthy, our referee.
You ready? Let's get it on!
Welcome back, Randy Couture. Here we go. Randy touches him early. Randy trying to finish Sylvia. Randy trying to throw down the giant. Couture looking for the upset early. He's got his back. Both hooks in. Couture rocks Sylvia.
Tim has regained his composure. He's using the wrist control. He's holding, as long as he's got a hold of Randy's arm, he's no danger of being choked here. That is unbelievable. Tim's getting a chance to clear his head here. Who would have ever suspected that was going to happen? Yeah, you can see a bruise on the side of Tim's head from where the punch landed. He's trying to turn into him right now.
Couture has been working with much bigger fighters. Wes Sims, Dan Christensen, Frank Mir. Trying to get used to trying to move around a much larger man in any position. Or avoid the strikes if we get back there. But Sylvia has a great chance, as you pointed out here, to regain his composure.
Well, he has very good defense on the ground. And you know what? Randy has been saying that, I mean, everybody always says they're better now when they try to make a comeback. But Randy's been saying that his problems were emotional. That his problems were he's going through a
Listen to Big John McCarthy telling Sylvia, I'm not standing you up in this position of dominance for Couture.
Which I completely agree with. I hate all stand-ups. I think it's a 5-minute round. It's a short amount of time. If a guy like Sean Sherk can hold you down and punch you in the face for 5 minutes, tough balls. That's it. That's how it goes, right? That's the fight. That's how it goes. You're on your back. Tough. Get up. Figure out a way to get up. It's a part of the game. Part of the game is grappling. And if it's boring, you know what? Baseball's about 1,000,000 times boring. 1,000,000 times more, and it lasts a lot longer. I think grapplers should have a chance to keep a guy on the ground as long as they can. I completely disagree with stand-ups.
Now, in this particular situation, Randy has a good position, but has he done anything with it yet?
Well, he's waiting for Tim to make a mistake.
Gotcha.
You know, he's holding on to this position. He's waiting for Tim to do something, try to explode, to try to move, to expose that neck. And Randy is an excellent grappler. He's got great submissions. He recently fought a pure submission grappling match against Jacare, who is one of the greatest submission grapplers in the world. And he held his own and went to a draw with him. And even had his back at one point in time.
Still plenty of time left in round number 1. This battle on the canvas came to fruition because of a big right hand thrown by Randy Couture. But Sylvia has stayed calm. He's postured up a bit. And he hasn't made the mistake Randy's looking for.
The only problem, though, is Randy's done no damage here.
Yes.
He's allowed Tim to recover. Because Tim was in some big trouble. I mean, nobody expected that.
Well, and that, again, is a credit to Sylvia's conditioning. Because as you talked about before, the only way you recover from a big punch is if you've got excellent conditioning.
Yeah, for sure.
And it happened right away, obviously.
He's always been a guy that recovers quickly. I mean, he's always in excellent condition. I mean, he recovered quickly from the Orlovsky punch, and moments later knocked Orlovsky out. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is.
So right now, Randy needs to take advantage of this advantage.
Yeah, you got to beat Tim Sylvia. He's not going to give up.
Remember, scheduled for 5-minute rounds, championship fight here tonight. 4 minutes are gone in round 1.
You see how difficult it is to submit a guy when he's got good back defense and he can grab a hold of those gloves. I mean, those gloves make it difficult.
Trying to work his hands in now is Couture.
But see, Tim just keeps holding on to those gloves.
How about having a 280-pound man laying on you for 5 minutes?
You know what? I don't think that's possible. He's in phenomenal shape.
That is one thing that's always consistent with the natural.
Tim's going to try to turn towards him and then be in Randy's guard. You see what he's doing? He's trying to turn his head, but you know what? Randy's doing a great job of holding him there.
20 seconds remains.
Let go of the material of the glove. Grab the hand, Tim.
Tim's going to survive round 1. Randy's going to win round 1, but he's not going to win the fight here in round 1.
But he has sent a message to Tim Sylvia that he is for real.
And he is back. His beautiful wife, Kim.
How happy is she right now? Let's take a look at that right hand. Boom! On the chin. Throws the leg kick, comes down with everything on it. And the big man goes down.
Bam!
I do not think Tim Sylvia expected that to happen.
Using your fakes, getting him out of position. Okay? Hey, that gave him a false sense of security, but he still might come out and shoot on you. Okay?
What a great trainer Pat Miletich is.
He knows his stuff.
Doing a good job, brother.
Eddie Bravo, you're scoring in round 1.
Tim Sylvia's back. 10-9 Randy Couture. Tim Sylvia showed excellent rear naked choke defense. Textbook, really.
So 10-9 round 1 on Eddie's scorecard. Now Tim wants to get into utilizing his range. Randy wants to duck under, clinch, and take Sylvia back down. Close the gap.
Good uppercut by Tim on the inside.
Oh, over the top of the right again. Again, like I said, Couture worked out with 6'9" Liz Sims, 6'7" Dan Christensen, Frank Mir amongst others, including 6'2", 350-pound Eric Kaleb.
by Tim.
Into the fence they go. 43 is just a number when you're Randy Couture.
Look at the size difference between these two guys. I mean, it's so evident when you see them pressed up against each other like that.
Very similar, though, to the size difference between Arlovsky and Sylvia, or anybody else basically in Sylvia.
Well, the way you can really tell is that there's no way Tim Sylvia could ever make 205. You know, I mean, Randy Couture made it fairly easy. He's got to hold that leg and he can't even budge it. Now, I know when they trained together, he used a lot of leg sweeps to take Tim down. I'm sure Tim's aware of that. He's been training very hard to avoid that. He's got
and there's the takedown. Couture looking to impose his will on Sylvia.
Good left hand from the bottom.
And that's the thing with that reach. Tim can damage from the bottom.
He's got some serious power, and you know what? He can submit guys off his back as well. He almost caught Jeff Monson in a triangle, and he doesn't relax off his back. He's got some techniques here. The only thing is he might not be willing to throw the mount because he might be worried about Randy escaping and getting to the mount or getting the side control.
Randy loves to posture up.
Good elbow.
But again, as you talked about, because of the long limbs of Sylvia, he's got to be cautious of that.
Yeah.
Because he's just going to give Sylvia some room as well.
You know, what we don't see from Sylvia.
Good elbows from the bottom.
Yeah, even though we haven't seen him submit guys, he is constantly working on his game. I mean, he is a consummate professional. You see him right there. He's looking for things. He's looking to throw his legs up. Those knee sleeves also, I bet those things are to work on his guard. I don't think those are to protect his knees. Those are to give him a little extra friction. So he can secure a triangle and armbar easier.
We saw Sylvia survive the ground attack of Jeff Monson in his last title defense.
Let's go. We got to work.
I'll tell you what, man. If Randy Couture wins this fight, the roof might explode.
Oh, there's no question. The best way to describe Randy Couture is he's the most beloved UFC champion of all time.
He is easily one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life. Just a super cool guy, not a bad word to say about anybody. Even when it comes to competition, he's always friendly about it. He's just got such good karma on his side.
And he is the leader so far through a round and a half.
And the more this goes on, the more this is going to frustrate Tim. Big right hand by Randy from the bottom. Excuse me, I'm Tim on the bottom.
Tim's bloodied up a bit. The nose of Tim Sylvia, the heavyweight champion, is bloodied up.
I like how Big John's not standing this up. Give him time to work.
John knows both of these fighters very, very well, and their tendencies.
And you know what? That's why he's the best referee in the game.
Amen. Another elbow. More ground and pound for Couture. Sylvia battling. 1 minute now remains in round 2. Remember, it's a championship fight, as I mentioned earlier, so this could go 25 minutes.
Randy's got to be careful with these arms in like that. As he's sliding back and forth, he's got to make sure that he's got both arms in and elbows pressed on Tim's chest. If he makes a mistake and leaves one arm in, Tim for sure is going to throw up a triangle. He did it on Jeff Monson, and I guarantee you he's looking for it here. But meanwhile, he's eating elbows and punches.
Stop it right there. Let's go. We're standing up. Let's go.
Here's the stand-up, but the time is ticking away.
Crowd boos.
One punch can end this fight. It almost did.
You know what? Not
being
just
a right
one
hand
punch,
from
but
Couture.
one kick.
You got that right. Great point.
Left hook by Randy.
10 seconds remains in the second round.
And if I was in Tim's corner, I would be telling him to start throwing some kicks. Knee, nice knee, but Randy got caught. Good job by Tim avoiding it. Leg sweep, and he takes him down again.
Headed to round 3. 19,000 plus are on their feet.
And I tell you what, at the end of that round, Tim Sylvia is the one that's breathing heavy, and the 43-year-old Randy Couture is sitting there with his mouth closed. He looks great.
You're doing great, bro. The left eye, Randy. Is everything okay with that? You're doing great. You all right? Doing great. Randy, I just don't want to see you standing in front of you so much, okay? Because they're trying to pick the shot.
Hey, that's a good job. The post ready to do something. You gotta keep doing it. But I tell you, all right, let's go.
Right? When you get in there, don't let him keep that long hand peeled on the back of your neck. He's not letting us set up against something. Reach back, peel, punch. Okay? On him with the posture.
Let's take a look Here's a big right hand from the top.
All right? You get on him now. He's tired.
Eddie Bravo.
Walk him down.
Just like the first round, Couture landed another big right hand. He got the takedown, but this time he stayed in Tim Silva's guard, where I think he should stay. He should stay in his guard and work his ground and pound action. And even though Tim Silva landed some good elbows from off his back, still another 10-9 round for Randy Couture.
2 Love Couture on Eddie Bravo's scorecard. The 6'8 champion against the 6'2 Hall of Famer.
Good luck to Randy.
See how he's avoiding that big reach. He's ducking. He's going side to side.
You know what
Very
the
well,
problem
Joe.
with that side to side is, if Tim can figure it out, if he can time it, he can land a knee or a kick. And that's going to be ugly.
That's what Randy's doing. He's going side to side every time.
But if Tim fakes that jab and throws a right head kick, see that?
Absolutely.
I mean, Tim's avoiding the kicks because he doesn't want his leg to get grabbed and get taken down. But man, if he lands one. Another right hand by Randy.
To the side and then over the top. To the side and over the top. That's Randy's strategy here. But as you mentioned, you never want to get into a predictable pattern because that's when your opponent can take advantage.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like he's learned something from his fights with Chuck Liddell, and that's for sure. He's not rushing in. He's throwing a lot of feints. He's making Tim think. That is the difference between the striking that we see sometimes in the UFC and top-level striking. You know, if you watch like top-level boxers or K1 fighters, they throw a lot of feints. Damn.
Yeah, how good is that?
Beautiful head movement. I mean, that's the thing you get from a guy like Graham. He's a consummate athlete. He's always learning. Even at 43, he doesn't allow age to limit him. I mean, this is a style we've never seen from him before.
Another hook.
Sylvia is getting battered on the feet. Who would have ever predicted this?
Well, we once said that about Randy Couture winning a stand-up battle with Chuck Liddell as well.
Come on.
You know what, man? Maybe Randy was telling the truth. Maybe the problems in his last 2 fights were the fact that he was going through this big divorce and he was emotionally unsound.
He outstruck Pedro Rizzo as well as a heavyweight did Randy Couture. Sylvia clearly frustrated. Couture clearly in control. But again, one big punch or kick from the Maniac, and this could all go away for Randy Couture. And Randy knows that.
As well. I mean, I'm surprised Tim's not throwing any leg kicks. Another right hand.
Again, that's, as you talked about, I just don't think he wants to make the legs vulnerable for Randy to take him back down. But he's got to do something to change it up.
Well, the problem is also when you get frustrated and you start losing your confidence, you go to your bread and butter. You don't go to the big head kick. You don't go to the crazy stuff. You go to stuff that you feel confident in. He got rocked again with a left. Good knee by Tim Sylvia, though, in the clinch.
Sylvia has not taken advantage of his reach advantage yet. And that's the one thing Couture needed to neutralize. There, Tim extended a little bit, but Randy able to avoid. Under 2 minutes remains in the 3rd round.
Randy just took a deep breath. Minute 45 to go.
Tim said Randy definitely lit a fire under me. Coming back and thinking he was going to take away what I so desperately love.
Another left hook by Randy. I mean, you can count the number of punches that Tim's landed on your hands. Who would have ever thought this?
You would have, because no one ever doubts Randy Couture. You know that.
You know, I mean, the guy is constantly
You weren't
amazing.
sure what happened, but I know you thought it a couple of times. Because the one thing consistent about Randy Couture is he's always consistently a competitor.
He's tired here.
1 minute remains in the 3rd.
The entire round spent on the feet, and Randy Couture is winning a kickboxing battle against a guy almost a foot taller than him.
Randy breathing out of his mouth. He's got to keep that head movement.
I mean, that 6-inch height advantage is huge. The reach advantage is huge, and Randy's the one who's landing the punches.
Oh,
First the body shot, then over the top. He's coming over the top like Chuck Liddell does. And look at the look on Tim Sylvia's face.
He's being much more versatile in his strikes. He's mixing things up, whereas Tim is being one-dimensional. And I think that's a testament to him being frustrated.
Well, and Randy said he thought he saw holes in Tim's game, and he's picking apart those holes right now. Uppercut by Couture caught the chin. 3 rounds in the books. Do all 3 belong to Randy Couture, Eddie Bravo?
Absolutely. Round 3 was amazing for Randy Couture. I mean, he's putting on a boxing clinic. I lost track of how many left hooks he landed in right hands. At least 6 left hooks and 6 or 7 right hands. Complete domination by Randy Couture, 10-9.
Now that takedown's there
Matt
whenever
Hughes
you
was
want it, 'cause you
screaming
got
in
him
the
guessing
corner to
big
Tim
time now.
Sylvia. Push that pace.
He does
Push
not
that
know
pace.
what they're gonna do now. That's what we're looking for, okay? He don't know.
Randy is breathing very hard in this round.
You're doing a great job of keeping your right up on his hooks. Now keep your left up a little bit, okay?
Push the pace, Tim. This is where we are working, buddy. You have to push the pace.
Push him around, Tim. Keep shove him back. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you started working your jab like this to see where, work your jab, see where his head moves and hit it.
Can Tim Sylvia stop the train? Momentum clearly in Couture's favor.
You ready? You ready?
The Warriors come out for round number 4.
We move into the championship rounds. If this was a non-title fight, Randy would already win the decision.
They both have been in 5-round wars on multiple occasions in their career. Good sprawl by Tim.
Very good defense by Tim Sylvia. And a good knee inside. And Randy's got down.
He takes him down again.
Unbelievable.
The clock quickly becoming Tim Sylvia's enemy.
Tim's lifting his legs up. He's working that high guard. He's got those long, powerful legs. I think we're going to look to see Tim trying to submission here.
Joe, there is not one fan sitting right now for this title fight. Everyone is on their feet.
How can you?
Oh, what a moment indeed. But still lots of time remains. Lots of things can happen in 9 minutes inside the octagon.
Good right hand to the top by Randy.
Randy's postured up here. Moves the hand and then hits with the left. Body shot. Again, you got to be careful because Tim's not going to knock you out from here, but he can do some damage sitting up and throwing that hand.
Good posture by Randy.
Randy has been in total control.
Complete. I mean, this is amazing. Tim's going to try a submission. He's got to do it now.
Here they go. Standing up with 2:52 remaining in the 4th. Tim's got to throw with some reckless abandon here, too. At one point, the only thing he's going to be able to hope for is a knockout finish. As he is well behind on the judges' scorecards. Over the top.
I'm surprised Tim isn't mixing it up. I'm surprised he's not faking and throwing kicks, faking and throwing knees. And even the way he's throwing his punches, he's poking them out there. It looks like he's constantly worried about that takedown.
Anytime he can get the clinch, he's going to try to take it.
He's got him again.
And down goes Sylvia. Side control for Couture.
This is a complete domination. This is crazy.
Is this more shocking to you thus far than it was when he completely dominated Chuck Liddell?
Yes, it is. Because he's older. He's 43 years old. He's coming back from 2 knockouts. You know, I mean, this is amazing. 43-year-old guys are not supposed to dominate in combat sports.
Well, this isn't your normal 43-year-old guy. This is Captain America. Under 90 seconds remains in the fourth.
He's smothering Tim here.
Grab the hand, not the glove. There you go.
The winner of this fight could very well meet Mirko Krokop.
Yikes.
Yeah.
There's some.
What a reward for winning or retaining the championship.
Congratulations.
But first things first, exactly.
Randy goes to the mount. He's got
Randy Couture.
Full mount with one arm trapped. This is big, big, big trouble for Tim Sylvia.
And now Sylvia's worn down.
If Randy Couture rises up and starts raining punches, turns his back.
Great job by Tim.
Very good job by Tim Sylvia.
What Tim would love to do here is lean on Randy a little bit, try to take some more of his gas. Put 280 pounds on top of him. And for the first time, Sylvia is scoring points.
Randy's back up to his feet.
Down on the ground, no knees. He's down on the ground, no knees.
Randy did a great job. Notice how Randy kept all four points on the ground, so Tim couldn't throw the knee. If Randy would have brought one of those hands up, Joe, Tim could have thrown a knee.
Yeah, and you know what? There's another weird point of debate where I completely disagree. I think you should be able to knee a guy on the ground. But you knee him standing up, why can't you knee him on the ground?
We are headed to the fifth and final round.
Matt Hughes is very, very concerned. Stay the man to Tim Sylvia.
Eddie.
Again, Randy Couture started that round with a takedown, had some ground and pound action, and even though Sylvia got a break with that stand-up, Randy landed some couple right hands, got another takedown, ended up in side control, ended up in the mount. Randy Couture, 10-9, complete shutout. Tim Sylvia needs a knockout to win this one.
You quit hesitating now. And when you're in tight, you're throwing elbows, right? You tie up with his head, hit him with a knee, boom, come with the elbows right away.
You got 5 minutes to show how bad you want to be the champion. This is the fifth round?
Yep, it's the fifth round. Time to finish him.
You are unstoppable.
Time to finish, my man. Mouthpiece, put it in.
He's 1 punch away. You got to come together, though.
Time to finish. Yeah. Finish, Tim, finish.
You saw Tim just ask, is this the fifth round?
Will we have the Hall of Famer return to glory, or will Sylvia knock Couture out here in the fifth?
This really is crazy.
Randy Couture is 4 minutes and 45 seconds from becoming a 5-time UFC belt holder. 3 in the light heavyweight division. This could be
good right hand,
a third in the heavyweight division.
Good uppercut inside by Tim.
Randy was looking to sweep the foot.
Amazing how strong he is. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's at least 50 pounds heavier than him, and he's mad.
Down he goes again.
He's in half guard now. Tim is very frustrated. His mouth is wide open. He's breathing heavy. And Randy's mauling him on top.
Randy in half guard here, Joe. 4 minutes away from regaining the heavyweight title.
Elbows on the top by Randy. He's got that leg in half guard, but nothing's keeping it there. If he wanted to, he could pass, but you know what? Randy likes to hold on that half guard and stay there. He thinks it's an opportunity to keep his leg in that position.
Oh, there goes first.
He turns out he's in side control.
Spins into side
That was a beautiful move. Tim looked for a leg, and that cost him a position. Randy's in a better position now than he was before. Tim's pushing off the fence, trying to rotate around. Randy's having none of it.
This would be a huge upset. Couture trying to become the oldest heavyweight champion, the first 3-time heavyweight champion, and the first 5-time UFC champion.
This really is crazy.
He is 2 minutes and 55 seconds away from a triumphant return from retirement.
He's got to stay busy here, though. He doesn't want Big John to stand him up. He's in such a dominant position. He's got to land some shots. Big John's looking at them.
2 minutes and 35 seconds remain.
Keep dropping those elbows. Keep pushing those knees to the body. There he goes. This is crazy. Knees to the body.
All about Couture tonight.
You know what? If he can keep this position, if he can keep working, this fight's a wrap.
Randy the Natural Couture, 111 days shy of 44 years old, is now 2 minutes away from the heavyweight title.
He is mauling Tim. He's got that elbow pressed against his neck. Beautiful positioning. Tim tries to switch underneath him, and Randy is there he goes. Now he's got the mount.
Mount with 95 seconds remaining in the fight.
This is incredible.
Watch your head. Watch your head. Watch your head.
Tim is all he's doing is trying to hang on here.
Randy moving up in the mount. Tim spins away. Tim needs to stay on his feet here. But he cannot do it.
Unbelievable.
Couture is 60 seconds away from becoming the heavyweight champion.
This is incredible. Not only has he won this fight, or not has he won this fight so far, I should say, but he's totally dominating. Look at Tim's face. He's bloody. His eye is swollen. His mouth is wide open. He can't believe this is happening.
As Dana White, UFC president, said, he gave up doubting Randy Couture a long time ago. Couture is 30 seconds away from the title.
This is insane. Dana White is standing up. Everyone's standing up. Lorenzo Martinez is standing up. This place is on its feet. 15 seconds away from 43-year-old Randy Couture regaining the heavyweight championship of the UFC.
Randy the Natural Couture, UFC Hall of Famer, is going to become, once again, the heavyweight champion of the world.
This place is deafening. Wow!
Captain America has done it again.
Wow! I mean, the scoring right now is just academic. Unbelievable!
That is why he came out of retirement.
Wow!
Eddie Bravo.
Nobody on this planet thought Randy Couture can strike with Tim Sylvia. He completely owned him. He landed like 20 hooks, 25 straight right hands. No one thought he was going to take Tim Sylvia down. He took him down like 7 times. Complete domination, complete ownage. Randy Couture, 50 to 45. He's the new champion.
Dana White, Lorenzo, even Lorenzo Fertitta just said exactly what we did.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is so crazy. So crazy.
His wife, Kim.
Wow. I mean, this is just insane.
The Hall of Famer is once again the champion. Totally dominated Tim the Maniac Sylvia for 25 minutes. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 50-45 with a winner by unanimous decision. And now, once again, the new UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Randy the Natural
Champion once again is with Joe.
I'm speechless. I mean, what can anybody say? Why are there even any words? There's no need for it. That was the most incredible thing that I've ever seen in my life. I've always been a huge fan of yours. I've always been impressed by you, but I'm blown away. I have nothing to say. Please talk.
Not bad for an old man.
There's so many people doubted you coming into this fight. Was that fuel for you? Did that help you?
I think that's always fuel for me. I think in the underdog spot, I tend to flourish. This was no different. Unfortunately, at 43, I think I'm going to be the underdog for the rest of my career, so better watch out.
Wow. Let's take a look at the Mickey's replay and talk us through some of this unbelievable action.
Well, I felt like I have a little bit different style of wrestling. If I could get on top of Tim, I could be pretty effective. I'll tell you what, he is very tough, very long, very strong. He was hard to deal with down there. But thanks to the big partners I had in camp, they prepared me for this very well.
You hit him with that inside leg kick and dropped him with the first right hand you threw. Was that a part of your game plan coming into this?
That was a strategy and a combination that I worked on a lot with my new Thai teacher at Extreme Couture, Cade. Left cut kick, overhand right, left hook, and man, it worked to a T tonight right off the bat.
I guarantee you're going to have a lot of new people coming to your gym tonight.
I'd like to dedicate this fight. Something was said to me recently as, why do you believe in America so much? And the answer was, there's two people. Jesus Christ, who stepped up and died for our sins, and the American GI that steps up and dies for our freedom on a daily basis. This fight is for them.
Randy, you are one of my heroes. You are a hero to everyone out there that thinks they're over the hill. You're an incredible person, and it's been an honor to watch you compete once again, and you are the new UFC heavyweight champion of the world.
Thanks, guys. Thank you all for coming. This is awesome.
Do not, though, disregard or disrespect the former champion Tim Sylvia, because he as well is pure class, and he stays in the octagon to visit with Joe.
I'm here with the former champion. Tim, you're obviously disappointed. Give us your thoughts on the fight.
Randy just came, he brought it. You know, I really wasn't, when I thought he was going to stand to me, he shot. When I thought he was going to shoot, he threw hands. You know, he kept me off balance all night, and it's definitely an honor to fight Randy. I wish I could have, you know, won this fight for my fans. I'm headed back to Maine this week, and, you know, I want to congratulate Randy. I mean, he's been a good friend of mine for a long time, and he's a hell of a competitor, obviously. Came in here and did something a lot of guys can't do, and that's beat me.
Well, you're very gracious in defeat. Now, Tim, you were such a dominant heavyweight champion. How shocked were you that he was A, willing to strike with you, and B, was getting the better of the striking?
You know, I think I just wasn't prepared for what I didn't think he was going to try to strike with me. I thought he was going to try to take me down immediately, and like I said, he kept me guessing the whole 25 minutes. And I came into this fight with an injury, and I thought I'd be fine, and I wasn't. No, I don't want to take anything away from Randy. Randy beat me fair and square, you know. He's a stud. I apologize for that. I don't want to think I'm taking anything from Randy, but you know, he's a stud.
Well, you know what, Tim? All great champions come back from defeat better than they were before, and I'm sure we're going to see that from you, and we look forward to seeing you again. Tim Sylvia, ladies and gentlemen.
Tim Sylvia, Randy Couture, showing class and the friendship that they have shared for years. An Uprising was on tap tonight here at Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Jason Lambert enjoyed his Uprising, as did Matt Hughes. Hughes was dominant, defeating none other than Chris Lytle. The executive producers of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, Frank Fertitta III, Lorenzo Fertitta, and UFC President Dana White. Our supervising producer, Craig Borsari. Director of production, Tim O'Toole. A great show again tonight, produced by Bruce Connell and directed by Anthony Pasquale Giordano. Alan Connell puts it all together. Joe Silva, this was a magical night, my friend. Franklin finishes McDonald. Oh, what a relief it was for Cincinnati's own. And then he returned. UFC Hall of Famer, Randy the Natural Couture, as he took on Tim the Maniac Sylvia. And dominated the 6'8", 280-pounder for 25 minutes. And Couture is once again on top of the heavyweight ladder. For Joe Rogan, Mike Goldberg saying so long. Until next time, we see you inside the octagon.
All right, wants you to fight clean, fight hard, fight fair, touch gloves. Go back to your corners. Let's go.
Welcome back, Randy Couture.
I think as I look back at my career, some of my shining moments have been as the underdog. The first time was against Vitor Belfort way back in October of 1997, my third fight in the octagon.
Couture is walking in the Belfort. He's circling left and walking in. He's unafraid of this. 2 minutes and 8 seconds. This is the longest Belfort fight we've had in the UFC.
I don't think anybody expected me to beat Vitor at all, let alone compete with him. He pretty much annihilated everybody in under 2 minutes to that point. You know, took out Tank, Teligman. I mean, every guy he'd stepped in with, he just blew through.
Couture has landed a bunch of punches to the face of Vitor. Oh, look at this. Uppercut after uppercut, a plethora of punches. That's it. That's it. Over. A stunning upset.
I look back at some of that old footage and just how bad I was. It makes me laugh, but it was good enough to get the job done against Vitor.
Introducing first, the fighter standing to my left. Tonight, he will try to become the only fighter to ever win a title in another weight class in the octagon.
At 39, coming off of 2 losses in the heavyweight division, having lost to Josh and Rico back-to-back, most people thought I was done. But I felt good about that fight. Studied Chuck and watched what he did. I mean, this guy could probably knock me out if I stand around in front of him, but I think if I push the pace and get him, get to him first, hit him first, throw everything straight down the middle, I can beat this guy.
Nice right hand.
And again, I don't think anybody expected me to win that fight. From Dana on down, they were all counting me out. And that fight just went, picture perfect.
Randy taking it to Chuck Liddell.
Randy Couture is winning the stand-up battle. This is incredible. I was always a Randy Couture fan, but now I'm just blown away.
A new UFC light heavyweight champion of the world.
And of course, Tito then chimes in and steps up and says, well, I'll fight him. I want to fight him. I'm still the champ, and his belt's a joke. And so I'm like, okay.
I like being the underdog. It suits me well. Tito, I don't know if you're in the house, baby, but if you want this belt, you're going to have to come in here and take it.
3 months later, we roll into Tito, the 29-year-old, 4.5-year champion who hadn't been beaten since Frank Shamrock. I'm 40, kind of the surprise, and again rolled into there, I think a 3-1 underdog.
We've been waiting all night. We've been waiting for months. Oh, and there's the big takedown. There's the big takedown we saw Couture utilize against Liddell.
That's the first time Tito's ever felt that in the octagon.
Good night.
Not only beat him, but dominated 5 rounds of the competition, which I think at 40 years old, everybody was surprised that it was a high-paced match and it went 5 rounds, and I think I was less fatigued than the younger fighter.
And the chants are starting to change. The crowd is starting to shift towards the natural.
He's got 37 seconds to pull this off. Look at Randy's patting Tito in the ass.
Goodness. There's
He's
the
punching
shot.
him in the ass.
And it culminated in the off-the-cuff spanking at the end of the fight. I mean, one thing led to another, and it just popped into my head. It's all I could see. With 30 seconds left in the fight, he tried to roll to a knee bar, and I had him stuck there, but couldn't really clear my leg, and all I could see was his ass. So it seemed like the bad boy needed a spanking.
Randy the Natural Couture, Captain America.
Unbelievable.
It's the undisputed
Unbelievable.
light heavyweight champion of the world.
That guy is my hero.
Just one thing after the other in those 3 fights. I think that anytime you're a huge underdog like that and you prove everybody wrong, it's pretty special.
Oh, big left, but down goes Randy. Trying to finish it. And it is all over. It is all over.
Is this the end of the line for you, Randy?
This is the last time you're going to see these gloves and these shorts in this octagon. I'm retiring tonight. I want to thank all my fans for all their support.
Really, at the time I retired, I didn't have an honest chance to evaluate my physical skills. I felt like I was doing everything right in training, but I just had so many of the extraneous things on my back. Leaving Oregon, leaving my old school, friends, family, the divorce, all that stuff. Once that was all done, the smile came back, and I felt just a lot more like myself. But just physically felt like I still want to compete. I still want to get out there and physically do this while I still can. Being as close to the sport as I have been, commentating and everything else, training with Forrest and some of the other guys that were competing, it's just hard to be that close and not, put yourself out there, put yourself in those situations. What would you do? What would I do here? What would I do there?
I think if Tim stepped up and was more aggressive here, he may get Jeff to that point where he just gives it up. But Tim's being tentative. He's not pushing the action. He's not taking advantage of that potential situation.
Seeing Tim and Jeff Munson, 2 fighters who I've trained with a lot and know very well, compete. I've had a friend that's been yapping at me for a year. You need to go beat the Giant. You need to go fight the Giant. And I've just laughed it off. And then I watched that fight. I was like, yeah, I could compete with this guy. I think, I have the skill set to beat this guy.
Still the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, the Maniac.
I think this year off has been fantastic. I've recovered not only emotionally and psychologically from everything I had going on, but I think physically too. The time off was really good to learn some new skills, did some new things, and I had an adventure race, did a couple movies, got into the submission thing, and it went really well. I had a blast training for it, had a great time competing, and it was kind of sealed the deal. It was like, okay, I can still do this. So that's when I called Dana. I was like, look, I want to fight again. if something comes up, let me know.
You want to put together fights that people find interesting. And Mirko Krokop has come in, and people are excited about him, but he's only fought once in the UFC. You know, we'd like to get the UFC fans to get to know him a bit better. So you're going, who could challenge for the heavyweight title against Tim Sylvia that people go, wow, I really want to see that. And, you know, just thinking about it, it's like Randy Couture.
A few weeks later, they called me and said, hey, how about fighting Tim Sylvia for the heavyweight title? And I was like, yes, let's do it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Inside the UFC. It is the news that everybody's been waiting to hear. I'm in suspense, man. What's going on? You have a big announcement?
I can't hardly sit in the booth with you and watch this sport. You know, I've been retired now for, it'll be a year in February, and not get the itch. My first fight will be on March 3rd against the big man, Tim Sylvia, going back after the heavyweight title.
Wow. I didn't know what he was going to say until he said it. I kind of suspected that's what it was going to be. If it was any other human being, and I looked at the statistics, okay, he's 43 years old, okay, he's been knocked out by the light heavyweight champion twice, and then decides to make a trip up to heavyweight. Any other guy but Randy Couture, I'd go, well, that's ridiculous. It's a stupid fight. I don't even want to be there. But with Randy, you got to go, damn, if he really believes he could win, man, you can't count that guy out.
I think people are very, very interested in seeing if Randy could pull it off again. It's like the movie Rocky Balboa, you know, for real.
1 minute.
Probably the most exciting person or excited person was my wife. When I told her, I think I'm going to come back. I'm going to fight again. I think and we'll see what happens. And I think she was jumping up and down. She was pretty excited.
I was pushing him from the very moment he retired to get back in there. And, you know, if he's still going to be in there training and competing with these guys at that level every day, why not? He had a lot going on in his personal life. We kind of came out the other end of that. And I think once he dumped half of that off the cliff, you know, he feels like a new person. Time.
A lot of my friends, especially the guys I train with, are like my wife. They're very excited to have me back in the gym, back training. They believe in me. They see the work ethic. They see what I put into it and what I bring to the table, and believe that I can be successful and I can win this fight.
When Randy announced that he was coming back, it was just, everybody was just so happy because he's a warrior, and we didn't want to see him go out like he did last time on a loss. I mean, we could accept it because he accepted it, but we knew if he came back and he wanted to fight Big Tim that he was coming back for a reason. He's come back to kind of shock everybody and be the UFC heavyweight champion once again.
Just knowing, you know, Randy and the competitor he is, you had to figure that sometime he was going to come back. You know, he likes to compete. He likes the competition part of it. So it was pretty inevitable eventually. Once, you know, he got everything settled, he'd be back. And so he's taken on a big challenge in coming back, though. So it should be an interesting fight.
I'm definitely excited to see the return of Randy Couture. I mean, he's a legend. You know, he's done what a lot of guys have only dreamed of. And you know, anytime Randy says he's going to do something, I'm down to watch.
I think anytime you have an ambassador, if he's at the top of his game or not, it means a lot to the sport when an ambassador returns. And Randy Couture is an ambassador. Randy Couture is the man's man. Randy Couture is the natural. He's Captain America. He defines what competitor is all about. He defines the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And for that reason, even when Michael Jordan came back to the NBA, even though he still wasn't the Michael Jordan he was with the Chicago Bulls, one of the sport's greatest ambassadors, if it was not the sport's greatest ambassador, was back on the hard court. And so to have Randy back in the octagon means its greatest ambassador has returned to compete. So I think it means everything to have Randy back.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Your stature in the sport is huge. 4 world titles, 2 heavyweight, 2 light heavyweight. You get Big Tim Sylvia in the main event, 6'8" monster. How have you prepared for somebody of his size?
Well, I brought a lot of big guys into camp, and the first couple of weeks were rough. I was like, what did I sign up for? But kind of pushed through and got used to the weight adjustment again and the size difference. And the last 4 weeks have been spectacular. I feel great about it now, and I think I've got the tools I need in the toolkit to go out and get the job done.
Nice, Tim. 1 minute, Tim. Come on, man. 1 minute.
I think it would have been best for Randy's career if he stayed retired. And if he was to come back, it wouldn't be a good idea to come back against me. I mean, I'm angry, I'm ornery, and I'm taking it personal. Randy's coming after my belt, and friendship's all aside. I don't care. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to hurt him. Well, this is a great fight for me. It's a fight I can win, especially Randy coming up to heavyweight again. He's had problems in the past with heavyweights, and then he's had problems with strikers. And I consider myself the best of both.
Keep your feet moving. There you go. Stand in front.
He's going to say, oh, well, you had trouble with big guys before. Yeah, but they were grapplers. They weren't the same as you. Well, Chuck knocked you out. Yeah, but you're not Chuck. You're not as agile. You don't move as well as Chuck. You don't have the footwork or the foot speed that Chuck has. Yeah, you're a big, strong guy, very straight ahead. If I stand around in front of you, yeah, you'll probably knock me out. I don't plan on standing around in front of you. I'm not going to be there. So it's a good matchup for me style-wise, I think.
Randy's saying the right things that piss me off, and I'm anxious. I'm anxious for this fight to happen. I'm ready to fight him. I really want to hurt him, put him back in retirement. We got all people for the weigh-ins. What's up? What's up, guys? Holy shit. Look, it's huge. I've never seen it this big before.
The fighter that doesn't know when to quit is a story that's as old as time. Is that the case here? I don't know. Will it tarnish his reputation? No. The guy accomplished incredible feats. He was the only guy to win UFC titles in 2 different weight classes at 43 years old. I don't think it'll tarnish his reputation at all. I mean, the guy's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer, and he's there for a reason, and he's a great champion.
I think it's validation if Tim Sylvia wins this fight. I think it's justified validation. Everybody wants to pick on Tim Sylvia because they want to say the only reason he wins is because he's 6'8". He's a freak of a man. It's genetics winning. It's not the physical ability. It's not the hard work. And I think that's unfair. To beat a legend, you somewhat become a legend. This is the defining moment of Tim Sylvia's career. Randy Couture, and with a victory, Mirko Cro Cop. And if he goes through those guys, then Tim Sylvia could very well become the greatest heavyweight champion of all time.
The fans have been phenomenal. There's a whole lot of new fans out there that never got the chance to see me fight. I mean, we've got a whole new fan base in this last year that saw old tapes and old footage, but never really got a chance to see me fight, that are saying, oh, we're really excited we get to see you fight finally, and it's been very cool.
If anybody can beat Tim Sylvia, it's going to be Randy. You can't count a legend out. It's going to be the fight of the year. Everybody's going to be shocked, and it's going to go to the distance, too.
222 and a half for the Metro!
If Tim beats Randy, I think it's a good thing for him. He's beating a guy that a lot of people, look at as a legend in this sport, and he is. And it's not going to, do anything to hurt Tim's career. It's going to put him, that one more step up, I believe. And the one thing is that it's a fight that either one of them can win, though.
This is no grappling turn. I'm going to be punching him in the grill, kneeing him in the body, in the face, kicking him if needed. There's no grappling tournament out there. He's going to close the distance, and he's going to get hit doing it.
I think Tim as a striker is a much easier striker to deal with. He's not a grappler. My area of strength is actually his area of weakness. I've done traditionally very, very well against strikers. I need to neutralize his hands, find a way to get past him, get to his body, trip him, dump him, put him on the ground, and then from there, I'm where I want to be. And he's got to figure out how, with his 6'8" frame, to deal with me climbing all over him, hitting him in the head, and all the other things that could potentially happen to him down there.
Are you ready?
Yeah, ready to go. Yeah, I feel great.
I have no doubt.
I'm ready. Feels great. Had great preparation, and camp went well.
Randy, you've always been top shape, top ready. That's. I tell anybody that there's a difference between an athlete and just a brawl. Randy's an athlete. He's been an athlete ever since I knew him.
Making history tonight.
And having fun doing it.
By God.
El Hayes in the barn. Just go out and have some fun, keep smiling, enjoy my guys and the moment, and go out and get it done. Get after him, get in his face, make him work, and find a way to finish him.
This is, like, I don't know, one of my 30th fights on my amateur stuff, and done many grappling tournaments, so it's almost like 50th, match in competition, So it just, after a long time, it just comes natural, Get a nice nap in and stuff like that, and then eating, I don't know, I've had like 4 meals today, so get another meal in before I fight, and go out there and kick the shit out of Randy. That's the game plan.
I'm very happy about fighting in Ohio. It's a 7-hour drive from the Quad Cities where I live. And then it's about a 7-hour drive from all my family back on the East Coast. A lot of them just said heck with it and flew out here, which is cool. I'm gonna have a big fan base here, the Midwest. I come to Ohio and train a lot with Rich Franklin, who's on the card tonight as well. I really enjoy fighting in the Midwest, and you saw what kind of a crowd we have. We're the biggest venue that the UFC's put on so far, and we sold out in a week.
If you have any problems with this jab, with parrying it, skipping your bumps, then go to the up jab, so you can step around.
Good job. Oh yeah, coming under it.
Yeah.
I'll feel that.
All right, brother.
Good luck. All right.
Thanks. Ready.
I pray that you give Tim wisdom this night, and I pray that Tim knows in his heart that everything that he does and everywhere he goes, that you're with him, that you protect him, that you guide him, and that you strengthen him in all you ask. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. Hey. Good, how you guys doing?
Feeling good?
I feel good, man.
Ready to let him go?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. 1, 2, 3. Nice.
No need to lie here, Randy's a stud in the clinch. Randy's a great wrestler. He's got some nice little foot sweeps, and he likes the Greco ties and dirty boxing and over and under hooks and stuff like that. So we're working a lot with some big, strong wrestlers from Illinois and Iowa and stuff, and just preparing for that. Just being put into bad situations and trying to get out of them and getting out of them and capitalizing on it.
That's perfect. That's right there. 2, 3.
For a guy his size at a heavyweight, you're not going to find a lot of guys that are going to outwork him. He's a very good striker. He's long. He uses his range well. He's added some flexibility now where he's trying to throw kicks and high kicks. I think that's one of his strengths. He's very confident in who he is as a fighter, too. He knows where he wants to be and where he doesn't want to be, and he's worked very diligently to try and keep fights right where he wants them, in that standing position.
Let's go, baby. We rolling. We rolling. We rolling. We rolling.
Let's go have some fun, fellas. Fun.
Let's go on, baby. Let's go.
There's nothing quite like walking out into an arena of, this time, 18,000 people screaming. It's deafening. It almost creates an isolation. It's so loud. I'm generally very, very relaxed. I'm smiling. It feels comfortable to me. I'm not nervous. I'm excited about the prospect, about competing again, about being out there. You can feel every hair on your body. It's, I don't know, it's very, very hard to explain until you feel it, but there's nothing like it.
Welcome back has been in total control. Randy the Natural Couture, UFC Hall of Famer, is going to become, once again, the heavyweight champion of the world. This place is deafening. Captain America has done it again! Wow! The new UFC heavyweight champion of the world!
I'm devastated, you know. Trained hard. Just thought I would have been fine for this fight, and obviously I wasn't. I was a step behind. I'm surprised with everything he did tonight. I mean, I was just a step behind. Everything I did, I was a step behind. I love the guy, man. He fought a great fight, and I need to get more angry. I mean, I didn't think it was gonna affect me, you know, fighting him and stuff, but I didn't get as angry as I should have, as mean as I should have. Oh, I'll be back. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I turned 31 on Monday, so I still got a few years left of me, and so I'm gonna go back to Iowa and get some hunting in, and take a little bit of rest, and get back to the gym in about a month or so. So I heal up.
I feel great. I mean, the guys helped me get ready for this, and it was perfect right from the very opening kick to the overhand right, and beating him to the punch, hitting him first, and then once he thought I was going to stand with him, the takedowns would come easier. Chain wrestling, taking those second shots, getting in there and then finishing, turning the corner and finishing, taking that second shot. It made the difference every time. He couldn't deal with that lateral motion, the head movement and the circling, and just right down to the letter. It came off perfectly, and it doesn't happen that way all the time. It's pretty cool when it does.
Lifting out there like Sugar Ray.
We practiced that combination over and over and over and over, and then I almost didn't think about it. He just stepped in to throw the jab. I threw the left kick and the overhand right, and he disappeared. I was like, where the hell's he going? And I realized he was falling down. I took about 5 steps to catch up with him. It was a surprise even to me, and it went perfect.
There he is. Love you, brother. Congratulations.
I appreciate all you guys. Thanks to God first, and then you guys being there. It motivates me even at 43 to get my dead ass up in the morning and get back to the gym. Thanks a lot.